Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's get started. Hi. Are you gonna help me paint? Is that what the plan is, little lady? No, no. Don't climb up there. You're a cat. You will destroy it. Sleepy boy. Okay, palms will be in frame. Got a canvas set up. Hey, what's up, Chris? How's it going? So, last week... Oh, really? Dang. Wait, where are you nowadays? Are you still in the Bay Area or no? In my head, you moved somewhere, but I could be wrong. Oh, did you see? I got a new toy for Thumbelina. She was just going crazy on it. It might be too noisy for stream. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, awesome. So hyped about it. Oh, it's so great. Yeah, it's a little bit jingly, but I know, I'm so hyped for her. It's hopefully the goal is that instead of constantly attacking my body while I'm trying to sleep, she will hopefully find other things to do so I can get more than like 2 to 4 hours of sleep a night, because I'm running on like such low steam for existing because of this dumb cat. Like, I'm happy. I'm hella happy for her that she doesn't have pneumonia anymore and she's feeling so much better. However, I also would like to feel not like death. And is stealing that capacity from me a little bit. But what can you do? She's adorable. Not like I would change it. Okay. Just that. I have the preview window up. So, something that I looked up and realized was... Oh, and I'll set up the record time lapse again. Why do I already have hiccups? Jesus. So, I have a cat hair in my lip balm. So the whole thing that I was doing before, where I was like, alright, I'm going to generate some random hex colors and then I'll look them up on the stock photo website and paint pictures from those. I think I could actually get in trouble for doing that, is the thing. Which is hilarious because all the AI art bros would be like, no, it's transformative. Are you kidding me? It's totally different. You totally, like, it's fine copyright-wise. But apparently people can get very, serious when it comes to, like, the copyright of, like, even if you just paint a whole different painting using one of those as reference, there have apparently been lawsuits for that when the paintings look too much like the photos. Even if like the whole background is different, like they'll take like screenshots and it'll be like the person's face being identical, or the person's like a few folds of fabric that are specific and identical. And it's like, shit, that's what I would be using the photos for reference for, is shit that I need to practice, like fabrics and stuff. So instead of using the... And then also on top of that, I'm showing the images on my stream. Stupid. I should have known that already. So either... Did you fall down? Oh my god, amazing. That's gonna be wild this whole stream, I bet. So, instead what I'm gonna do, I will search for another site to do that with, but Google image search has a function to search by color. It's just trash. But what I'm gonna do is search by color. Ooh, I should put like safe search on and stuff. How do I do that? More? That's probably something I should definitely do. Safe search. Hide explicit results. Seems important. I'm gonna look up like the general color and then I'll just turn it into the colors that I randomize. Okay, so I'm gonna draw 5 random colors and then pick 3. Okay, these are not bad so far. Ooh, doing something with try something. I need like a... I'm going to use a tiny little notepad file to block out some of the colors and see. Oh no, is the window too small now? Oh, you bastard. There we go. That could be a cutesy color scheme. That could be an interesting one, but maybe too much like last week's. That looks like a school mascot color scheme. Middle three colors are kind of too swampy. Maybe those could be interesting. I'm gonna keep these open in a window, and then I'm gonna roll another set. Ooh. Oh, this set's terrible. Well, okay. So the options are this red and teal and gray. Honestly, no, actually I do need to practice more black and white stuff to get my values down, because if you go back in and make all my images grayscale, there's still not enough delineation in terms of like how I use light and shadow. I still tend to make things too uniform in some places. Okay, but should I do pink, teal, gray, or oh wow, it's gonna be in the same spot. Or these ones. I feel like this one could be more fun. I think I'm leaning towards this one, actually. Because it's got enough weird, strange colors to make contrast. Like, that mint green on top of the swamp kind of green is going to be unique. Okay, let's do the second. I feel good about that. Thank you for validating my my choices so that I don't feel like I'm... Wait, why did it just pick a lame? What is it doing? Oh, I forgot to paste the color before adding a swatch. I'm a genius. And it does seem kind of like Destiny because there's red and blue and I used those last week. So of course I have to cut those out of the palette and use these three colors instead. Alrighty. What was I going to say? I was going to say something and I got distracted and forgot. Good news is, Thumbelina had like her final checkup today, basically. Yes, I like candy colors. Now I gotta figure out how the order that I want these candy colors to be in. Let's see. But Thumbs had a wonderful checkup today. And she may have asthma for life, but her pneumonia is entirely resolved. She doesn't have an infection anymore. So, you know what? I'm dumb. I remember what I did last time. I did gradients of one to another to another. Duh, that was the way I wanted to do it all along. So it'll be this to this, then this to mint, and then mint to pink. So there's... Where is she? Okay, she's being good. So that automatic litter box thing, wait, I was saying something and I forgot. Oh, so this way each color combo will have a chance to appear, and then I can use the third color as an accent color in whatever I end up being. That'll be good. Give it a little better texture and blending and make it bigger. Why is it like this? Thumbelina, I swear to God. Thumbs. No. Oh, you think that's a toy. So, the automatic litter thing? You're good. I'm also late because I had Thumbs' appointment today. So these are the color... Okay, just to submit for your approval. So this was the original roll of colors. And it's like none of the options were like that was the most passable option we came up with. So I did another random roll and took out the colors I used last week, and this is what we came up with. I think this is pretty good. So I'm gonna roll with this. Oh god, I'm hitting buttons. But yeah, so the automatic litter box thing that I have, they apparently another cat almost got injured by it today or yesterday or something. And they did do an update, and they're sending out a firmware update to people, but they're still insisting that those people are like edge cases and that it's perfectly safe. And it's kind of like, bro, you've only sent this machine out to like 2,000 people. You're still basically like beta testing. We're finding the bugs for you. Like, edge cases are unfortunately things you have to address, especially when they could be like, when they could result in the mortality of a pet suddenly changing status. So, what's irritating is Thumbs has been all fucking about playing in this damn litter box because it's like a Ferris wheel for her, because it goes up and then it tilts over and then it dumps stuff in a thing, and it's like, oh gosh, what a cool fun ride for this idiot cat. But now I'm like extra terrified she's gonna get murdered by a robot. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm literally trying to think of like, can I program like an Arduino thing to like put a door down over the little litter box area I've made when it starts running its cycle? Because I do get a notification that it's going to run its cycle from the litter box, I think. So I think I could theoretically use IFTTT. Like if this, then that. IFTT, not IFTTTTT. It's like banana, you never know when to end the word. I think theoretically I can do that. But it sounds like a lot of work. Oh, wait, why is it not on screen? It does, I like chat to be on screen. Oh, interesting. It's supposed to be through Streamlabs. Maybe Streamlabs sucks? Properties. How do I just get regular old Twitch chat on my screen? I wasn't able to add that to OBS, annoyingly. Labs. Widgets. Chat box. Right. If this is something where there was a different... Oh, is Streamlabs just straight down? Okay, I mean, that would explain it. Oh, no, it's not. But why is... Events. Why is... What? Box. Widget settings. Oh, it's the same URL. What the fuck? Do I have to have it open in a fucking tab to make it work? That's absurd. Oh. Okay, that worked. Does it show? Oh, now it's showing up. Okay, cool. I guess I have to launch chat from Streamlabs each time. Okay, I mean, I guess that's a thing. Interesting. Not really the end of the world, but not optimal either. But yeah. Okay, so now that I have this, I'll go back to Google. This one? No. That's... Oh, also sketch a day, or sketch daily. The theme today is a shed or curly hair. So I think I'm gonna go with curly hair for the person drawing. Where's the Google window? I have a pink, a mint, and a yellow. Ma'am, what in the world are you doing? Thumbelina. No. Don't eat my plants. No. I don't know if you guys can hear her squeaking in response every time I... No! You're disallowed. Sure. Ma'am. Good grief. Okay. So I'll look at pink first. And then I'll do... I swear. You're being disruptive. However, I feel like this isn't going to be as good as on the stock photos site, because it's going to have like random advertisements interspersed too. Curly hair portrait. Oh my god, look at me. I'm doing like AI people do. AI art people. I'm massaging the prompt so that I can get what I want. Let's do... Ooh, that has pretty lighting. That one, possibly. Oh, that one's even better. Okay, I think I'm probably gonna... I might sell... Oh, that one's really cool too, though. Holy shit. My mic is... So how do I change that? Because I feel like my voice has been cutting out a lot and people have been complaining about it. Also, no worries if you don't know. I should just Google this, honestly. Oh, it's the same picture. So there's this one or that one. Both of those are good. And then for the mint, let's do flowers. And for the last one, okay, so ones. I guess I could do this. The last one I had hands with flowers. Maybe I can manage to do both again? That can work. Yeah, fair. I will Google it and I will try to figure it out. Interesting. Does it say? Oh! Oh! There are a bunch that say licensable. That's nice. So I won't accidentally, although I'm assuming probably a large amount of the Pinterest ones are also stock photos that have just been pinned because people are that way. You know what would be really funny to do? Oh, never mind. I couldn't do that for hands. I was going to say use Midjourney to create references for the paintings that I want to do. But I just realized because Midjourney struggles so hard with hands. It's an impossibility. Be an interesting pair of hands. Overall, this is much harder than using that stock website. I know what it. I think I know the theme I'm gonna go with. Oh, goddamn. Okay, that one's fine. Darn, that would have been really cool because I was going to do all like dramatic top-down lighting. But oh well, alas. I like this one though. Okay, so there's two options for that. And then flowers in the minty color. Oh boy. Gonna be a lot of rendering. Oh, actually, that could be beautiful. Alright, maybe I'll use that one. I wanted to draw a water lily in the Swamp Girl painting, but I didn't know how to draw one and kind of winged it to suboptimal results. So probably good to get some water lily painting practice in. As much as I want to paint maybe other things, it's probably better to I think I hear you screaming in the distance, little lady. Ooh, that's beautiful. Let's get a better picture one. One that'll translate well to painting. Because sometimes there's things where... yeah. I mean, depends on where you're searching. I feel like you could quite readily find those as well. Is my wrist vibrating? Oh, it's just telling me the litter box one. That's good. Okay, I think this one... Either that one or which other one did I see? This one could be nice, but I wish it was more in focus. Oh. What I could use Midjourney for is taking an image, like this one could be nice. Oh, except it's a stock photo one. But I want more on the edges, or this pink one here. But I would want more on the edges. And Midjourney could maybe fill that in. But oh, this one's pretty too. Okay, so I have options. Okay, that could work and that could work. Okay, I'm gonna group these all in little spots. Okay. Option 1. Option 2. Whoa, God! I don't know why that happened. Alright, interesting. One, two. These are really good. Ooh. You know what would be smarter for me to do? To take screenshots instead. Because that would be much easier. There are lots of pretty options. Oh, I'm a fool. I should have looked in the related images. Okay, well, now I know for next week, at least. So curly hair, curly hair. Can I not get a bigger version of this? I guess that's the biggest version. Yeah, that's fine. This is such a good lotus flower photo. I like this. But, okay. Add them as reference images. Nope. Alright. Wonder if Victor will come back today to sort by date taken. I think the combination of these three will be nicest. One for the middle. Lotus blossoms on the top, maybe, and then the hands and flowers on the bottom. I'm gonna do something different than last time, where I kind of block in some of the colors first, so that I have a better plan for how I'm gonna do the whole thing. Last week's turned out good, but I feel like I was winging it more than I should have. I can do better. And it will result in a better painting, I think. And I mean, I know it will. Okay, so if this is the teal layer, do I want that to be the teal? Shit. I do want. Oh, I'm done. So I'll take this red and make a deeper version of it. Kind of block in some. Do fluffy hair color. Oh, wrong. Too bright. Little level of darkness in the background, but probably I need to make that pink to keep with the color scheme. What might be an interesting challenge to do at some point would be to, I don't know if I can actually do that with this program because it would mess with how paint blends. But in Photoshop, you can use a color limited palette, meaning you can pick the specific hex codes to allow the palette to be limited to. So then I wouldn't be able to like do all these fun blends with color, and I would really have to like just do the what color it is. It's less fun and more challenging, and I don't wanna really. Okay. Maybe for perfect. Maybe I should be picking more colors. Well, first I'll just block in these shapes. Definitely gonna have to have... I just think I should be able to, like, make an executive decision to add in a color that matches with everything else. I feel like... Also, why are my eyes watering? I haven't slept enough. Instead of doing a brown color, I could do... Actually, I'm okay with this because picking a color that coordinates with all the other colors is something that I feel like I'm particularly good at and is definitely an artistic skill that I want to have an opportunity to flex more and try to do it in challenging ways. And I think this is the perfect blue that will be the dark color accent I need to go along with these. Okay. Now that I've rationalized that to myself. But no, genuinely, I think it's a good idea. I think it'll be more positive than negative. Yeah, okay, cool. Like, I don't want to make this too easy for myself because part of it is supposed to be like broadening my horizons, making it a challenge. But also, I do want the end result to look good, which is a sort of limitation in and of itself, basically. Okay, I think that's good for that one. I mean, that looks absolutely chaotic, but you know, what can you do? And I may... What is this? Is this rotate image? What is that thing? No, that's grayscale. Rotate it? Okay, hang on. That works nicely. Although that would work better on top than on the bottom. Maybe on the bottom it should be this way. I don't have that there. And the watercolor lilies. I think it'll be too echoey if I have it this way. But I think having it on the bottom like this is best. Okay. Same folder, please. Why is this like this? Okay, now... There we go. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna delete this one. Son of a bitch. Nope, not that. Okay. Oh, remove reference image. There we go. Technology. I love it. I think this will be balanced in the painting if I do it this way. That way her hair will be a light highlight in the center. The watercolor lilies will have highlights mostly over here, I think, maybe, and then this will have the highlight contrast over on this side. So I think... Ooh, do I even want to sketch that out? I'm gonna ruin the backing of it. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't. Because wearing dark colored cuffs. Now I have color for those. Yay! Oops. Also, somebody linked that there's this one lawyer on YouTube who does rundowns of various things. I watched his kind of react thing to all the Andrew Tate stuff. Is his name right? Andrew Tate? For some reason that sounds incorrect, but I know it's not. And he seems mostly correct, and apparently he did an AI art take today. And I'm curious to know what his take on all the copyright law stuff is. So I'm gonna have to watch it at some point. Okay. Which one do I want to do first? I think I'm gonna work on the flowers first because I think that's the one that's gonna break my brain the most. You linked the thing! Yeah, I'm curious. Have you watched it yet? Because I'm curious about it, because I've seen other stuff from him and he seemed like he had a decent head on his shoulders. What was your take on it? What was his take? Also, you don't have to give a full synopsis. Does it seem like does he have a hot take or a good take? Or both? The rarest of rare. Both good and hot. Nice. That's fucking awesome to hear. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I realized as I said that, I was like, why am I asking Amanda to just summarize a whole YouTube video? I should just, you know, watch the video. It's a good idea. So I will do that. Thank you. Oh yeah, good idea. Very good idea. Yeah, I feel like the war has still been waging on. Also, the fucking the same guy that posted the like, I can't wait to create subversive art once art is banned by the overlord artists. That guy, he posted more dumb stuff about how he was like, I think I'm shadow banned. I don't think people are seeing my post because my AI art hasn't been getting as many likes. And I just thought, I feel bad on one level. But then also, that's really funny on another level. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, buddy, I mean, you wanted to be an artist? Welcome to being an artist. This is, yep. There's a big facet of it. For sure. Sometimes you make stuff that you think is like the best stuff you've ever made and you're so hyped about it and you post it and people are like, crickets. I feel like I'm lucky that I have people like you guys who are pretty supportive friends. Whenever I do post something on like Instagram or so, I usually only post stuff that I'm actually like good finished works on Instagram. Usually when I post something on there, it gets a good response. There are a couple times that I like was fussing around in Procreate and did something that was like really novel and new for me, and I posted it on Twitter. Just nothing. Just dead silence. I was like, okay, so this thing may not be that cool in a vacuum, but like for me, it was really cool. And that's something I think that you have to. I really should. Yeah. I need to more. That's like a huge. I feel like once I start getting sleep again, I feel like I'll be much better at everything. Cause I was gonna set up the Discord with like the forums instead of the threads, because that's like a community feature thing that that comes with changing it to a community one, and that seems really good for discussion and stuff. And I was gonna create a couple different sections for like suggestions and stuff, but also I get like 3 hours of sleep a night due to little baby Thumbelina. Okie dokie. But I got her some new toys, and I'm setting up an IFTT thing too. Yeah, they're gonna be interesting. But I think that honestly, what's funny is I looked up flowers for the mint green color, and this came up, but it like kind of encapsulates, it has all 3 colors in it, which is, I thought was pretty wild and neat. It's like, oh, thanks, Google. You get what I'm going for. Also, so I realized that, well, I didn't realize. I looked it up because I was like, can somebody sue me for using those stock photos on the stream? And it turns out the answer is yes. But also, they could sue me for using just the art, or for making art of it and not crediting it as a stock photo or buying it. Because, which is funny, I was talking to Chris about this earlier when I first started up. That kind of blows up every argument AI bros have about copyright. If painting something and it just looking too much like a photo can infringe on copyright, I feel like all the transformative use nonsense of like, it's just like all the arguments of like, artists use photos for reference, is that fine? And I thought it was, but apparently not. So who knows? Oh, I drew this leaf too high. Rip. Maybe that leaf lives up there now. No, that'll be good. I'll move the leaf down. There's no freehand select tool? Oh dear God. Oh, thank God. Okay, I was gonna say, that's unconscionable. However, wait, what was I talking about before that? Oh, not sleeping. However, I got Thumbelina. Why did that happen? I got Thumbelina some new toys. And I'm also gonna set one up on a Wi-Fi outlet that turns on at certain times in the night. So that hopefully it'll turn on and she'll get to, she'll hear it and she'll go get it. Snuggle. Because I need sleep. I'm human. And that's a pretty common requirement for humans, as far as I know. But yeah, once I start getting sleep again, I feel like I will be more on top of all the Discord stuff. Why I brought this up? Who knows? Who knows anything? But yeah, this painting is gonna be good. Oh, by the way, Thumbs is doing great. Officially cleared of pneumonia by according to the vet. So that's really, really good and delightful. So I think add a touch of, maybe not. It is that crisp white in the painting, but it needs to be. I think that would be better. So yeah, she's hardy and healthy, and they do think that maybe at some point in her life she might need to have. She might have asthma, basically, is what they're saying. But for now, it's alright. Very nice and cool. A darker pink for this as well. Something I realized that I need to strike a balance of is I feel like it's very interesting to have people come on and chat, but I realize I don't narrate like what I'm doing artistically or the artistic process so much. And so I don't like be like, why this is why I'm choosing this color for this. It's like, oh, this is a analogous color to this, and that's why you should do this, or something like that. And I wonder if that is a loss or whether it's an acceptable loss. You know, I can always make like tutorial streams after, or tutorial walkthroughs. Pretty that leaf is. Oh, I can't wait to draw that. It's gonna be so pretty. See, this is why I want to get better at flowers. I really like plants, but I don't know how to. I can draw a plant with reference, but I want to get good enough at plants that I can just summon plants from my mind, and that sounds like a cool superpower. I also just want to be able to do that, unrelated to painting. I would be super hyped about just summoning plants with my mind. But painting-wise, it would be nice to be able to just be able to do what I do with like the girl paintings, where I can just kind of wing it, and it usually works out. Unless I try to do some weird experimental stuff. But yeah, drawing things like this will hopefully lead to me getting that ability. Plant summoning 101. Basically. Call it. I think that's reasonable. Hey Victor, what's up? What do you think of the painting so far? Also, have you thought more on your feelings on sex work? Also, no pressure to talk about it tonight if you haven't, because my brain is slightly dead, so I would be at a disadvantage anyways. But if you do want to talk about it tonight, I am definitely still available. No, that's totally good. Wonderful. My brain is, yeah, semi-non-functional due to Thumbelina keeping me awake my entire life. But I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little dangling thing. How do I point to it? Yeah, okay, you guys can see me. That is a toy dangling in midair. And she was going nuts on it earlier. So, I think that if she continues to go nuts on it in the night. Oh, nice. Were you? Oh yeah, you said it was younger kids before. I remember. Is it easier to teach younger kids or like old, like college or adults? I feel like cognitive abilities might be better, but also ego might be worse. And also fear of like not being able to do something, and just fear of falling or mortality might be worse. The older you get. Nice. What's the most annoying range? I feel like you tend to be a person more focused on positivity most of the time. So I feel like you'll have a very magnanimous kind of answer about this. Oh, nice. All right, you're like, no, fucking toddlers, they're the worst. That is excellent. That's really funny. Fried pizza, slice, or French fry on a snowboard? I don't know. Hopefully Victor knows. Are we getting free snowboarding lessons from Victor? These are the perks that my channel offers. You get free text-based consulting for all your snowboarding questions. I feel like I've learned to snowboard before, and I'm trying to remember like what version of that there was for snowboarding, and I genuinely can't recall to save my life, which is wild. Because I know there is one for sure, obviously. But yeah, just an empty hole in my brain where you would think information would be. Wow, my perception of shapes is wildly off. Interesting. Huh. Yeah. What? Wait. Oh yeah, falling leaf. Yeah. I knew there was something like that. Maybe I've just gone snowboarding while other people went skiing, so I heard the other terms. Which is very funny and silly. See, now that's too far from the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna make this work. I will figure it out. I think. No, this is in a good place. I just need to fix the bottom. It's just incorrect currently. Nice. Wait, I at least have object permanence. I mean, I think so. God willing, one vote. Have we? Oh, I didn't even end up. Did I end up talking about aphantasia last week? I feel like I didn't. Maybe I briefly touched on it and then got onto the sex work convo instead. I do not have aphantasia. I thought that low visualization was called hyper or partial aphantasia. Oh, good. But apparently it's called hypophantasia, meaning less ability to visualize. Yeah, I don't think I did either. I don't remember it, so I'm assuming I didn't. I think it's a safe bet to assume I didn't. But yeah, hypophantasia is the lack of ability to fully visualize in your head. And for me, what I see when I try to envision an apple is I see like a grainy, flickering, static image. And it's hard to hold any, like, oh, okay, oh no. Well, you're gonna miss aphantasia info this time too, because now I want to talk about it, it's in my head. But thanks for hanging out. Yeah, perfect. All right, I'll talk all about it. Have a lovely evening. Bye. So it's hard to like actually like it takes like a lot of concentration to hold any image in my head, and even if I do concentrate, it's usually a very flickering, grainy image. It's like definitely I know what it is, but I think part of the reasons that why I paint the way I do, and I think why I like art so much and have pursued art, is because putting something on paper is like a better way to visualize things than in my head. But also probably growing up in a family of artists, all that stuff too. Because if I try to visualize an apple in my head, I'll see like flickers of the defining facets of the object that make it like coalesce from the background of noise. So I'll see like the shadow and the highlight, the harsh edge of the highlight against the shadow, where like the stem meets the body of the apple. So there's that shine and then the stem comes out. Or I'll see the reflected light on the bottom curve of it and see that pushing it forward from the background and things like that. Yeah. So that's hypophantasia. And people with hypophantasia have different visualization abilities. Yeah, it's really, really interesting because they had some theories about it. They were like, so people, there's like some correlations with autism and things like that too. But they were making correlations about like, well, people that have this, they're not going to be in creative professions because like you need to be able to have an imagination to be in a creative profession. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. No, turns out not the case. Turns out that there's a and I don't know I feel like they listed a percentage or a portion, but now I can't remember it. But yeah, there was a significant chunk of people who I fully know that I'm drawing this differently from the reference, by the way. I'm just doing it because I want to do it. There was a significant chunk of people who were artists with aphantasia, which I thought was really, really cool. There were a lot of like scientists as well, but it was nice to see that it's like, no, of course, why would you not want to visualize things more on paper if you can't have them inside your head? You'd maybe consume media and TV more or listen to music more if you can't generate them yourself inside your brain. How else are you going to get them, kind of thing? It's like, oh shit, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. It feels kind of like the whole it just makes me think of how sometimes science gets things backwards at first, where something sounds reasonable, like that one is it survivorship bias that has the plane with the holes in it, and you're like, no, you don't need to reinforce these spots even though they get shot a lot, because the planes that get shot in those spots still end up coming home, which is the important part. I feel like it's kind of like that, where you have like a conclusion and it sounds reasonable at first blush, and then the actual like data comes along and it's like, haha, no, people who can't imagine do love art. It's like, oh shit, cool. It's very, very interesting stuff. I feel like with these water lilies, I'm gonna have the capacity to hyper focus too much on getting this stuff right, which I don't want to do and I want to avoid. How do I do this in a way where I get the important details, but I let myself be okay with some of the details being imperfect? We'll see how I can pull that off. Because it's surely definitely possible. And it's exactly why I need to practice like this, so that I get in the habit of catching myself when I'm over-rendering things and detracting from the painting rather than adding anything to it by doing so. Ooh, oh god. That'll be easier. Now I won't have to minimize it every time I want to change my brush. Hard to say. Then there's also hyperphantasia, which I don't have much experience with because I don't have it, but it sounds really fucking cool to have because basically you can just play movies in your head as if they're like right in front of you any given time you want to, basically, which sounds like a superpower that I'd be super down with having. Oh. It would be really convenient for like counting sheep at night, meditating. I don't know, I can think of about 30 different things that it would make a little bit easier life-wise. What brought this to mind? But has anybody watched the show? I don't think so, no, because I was a huge book nerd my whole life growing up, but I think I haven't read books much in recent years. Do they think more in concepts and in terms of like layers of moves? Also, something that intrigues me is I wonder if this. So when I was trying to understand what the fourth dimension like kind of explanations were, and the guy was like, "It's time." So like, imagine being able to see every facet. So like 2D square, 3D cube. Now imagine being able to see all sides of that cube at any point in time. Is 40, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like, as an artist, if you have a cube, you have to know how light and shadow will hit it from any given direction to be able to render the form properly. And being able to think and hold like a bunch of different things like that as concepts in your head, I feel like made it easier for me to understand the idea. I feel like that was the explanation of quantum physics that I like, or not quantum physics, the fourth dimension. That is that quantum physics? It is. I could be wrong. I don't know enough about this subject to speak on it. That made it make sense, whereas previously it hadn't. Or I feel like I had a much looser grasp of what the concept was. But I do feel like, yeah, I think almost entirely in concepts. I don't have an internal narrator most of the time unless it's like lyrics to a song or something specific where it's like, you read this in Morgan Freeman's voice, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing it. But normally it's just, I think, in ideas. Yeah, 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 except less good at visualization. um but yeah, there are some people for whom I feel like for me it hasn't really, well, I mean, I can't really say, can I? But I feel like it didn't really impact my ability to enjoy books. I really loved and do love books. I just don't feel like I have so much other shit that gives me more dopamine. And I can't like read a book while doing something else unless it's an audiobook, and then I get really picky about audiobook names. Why am I rambling about this? As a kid, I used to consume books like nobody's fucking business. I was reading like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit in like third. This is actually what made me realize that something was like different and wrong with my brain a little bit, because I was reading things like The Hobbit and my friends were reading Goosebumps, and then the third grade was when I stopped getting A pluses on things. I think that's when ADD started to really kind of become an issue. And so all my friends were still getting A pluses, but I was grasping concepts faster than them and reading at a higher level than them. So I was like, clearly it's not because I'm dumb. I don't understand why this is happening. This is weird. But yeah, it definitely did not impact or detract from my ability to enjoy books. But a lot of time, you know what? You know what's interesting that I just realized? I wonder if that's why I have such a problem with keeping track of characters until I really like solidify their personalities and who they are, because when they're just names, it's just a bunch of names. And I'm so bad with names already that when a book just throws a bunch of names at me and then just keeps throwing them at me and I don't have like a visualization for the character, it's just like, okay, these are just a bunch of fucking names. I wonder if that's like a subtle impact that I never thought of until just now. Interesting. But yeah, there are apparently some people who I can do that with other things. But names, I don't know whether this is like some weird autistic shit because like I'm extremely good at faces. I can memorize faces like nobody's business despite not being able to visualize them that well. But names, I just am garbage trash at. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's something specific to names that I'd be curious to figure out, like, what in my brain makes it that way. Because I feel like I have, like, a steel trap for a brain in terms of other things. But name-wise, names of songs, names of people, names of books, movies, my brain hates all of these things. Maybe it is maybe because it's a thing that's... Oh, actually, huh. So things that I seem to do really well with are understanding and remembering how things work rather than rote memorization. So understanding like processes and how things function seems to sit in my brain better than just like, hey, here's data. This war was in this year. And I'm wondering if names to my brain just count as, here is like just rote data. That's it. In which case I can see why I would have a harder time memorizing that. Interesting. Which, it's what way? Being terrible at names but good at faces? Or just understanding concepts versus understanding rote data? Because that makes sense. I feel like humans are just inclined to be better at that. Just, it would make sense to me for that to be the case. Well, I feel like as an ADD person, I don't know why, but I feel like I thrive more with that data than I've seen neurotypical people thrive. Like, if I understand how a concept works, I get it. It's in my head. It's good. But some people can do stuff just based on like the rote knowledge, and I'm not good with that. Okay, cool. So thinking in concepts is a thing. I've had pushback multiple times when I brought up aphantasia from being like, I think in concepts, like I don't have to spell out that fire is hot every time I think of fire. You just know that fire is hot in your brain. You don't have to go through a whole process. You understand the context of a thing. And I feel like that's how I think of just everything in my brain. It's like looking at a meme. One of the examples I use a lot is when you look at a meme, like in terms of thinking in concepts versus sounding out every word, instead of having to like read out a full sentence, you can look at an image and you get like so many layers of context and depth to it because of like the internet and the history of the meme and other times it's been used and whether it's being used ironically in this like context or something. Like you understand that immediately upon looking at it if you know what the meme is. And I feel like that's what reading is kind of like. Like I read a sentence and it's like that. Or when I'm thinking of something like a memory or art or something that people would have a hard time imagining I could conceive of without a visual. I feel like thinking in concepts in that way It just makes sense. It's just how it works. Yeah. So I'm happy to hear that humans are good concept learners, because I was feeling a little bit like a weirdo. No more so than normal, I guess. That's also good to hear, because I feel like what we need to like focus on education-wise is more conceptual and about data filtering rather than... That's fucking awesome. Okay, I don't know why people were giving me so much shit then. Very annoying. Maybe they're the weird ones who can't think about concepts without spelling them out word for word in your brain or having a visual image of something. Not that they were being mean about it. The people that I talked to actually were pretty interesting. One was that guy that wrote the paper on the AI art stuff. But we got like kind of... He just couldn't really understand how I could draw a square without visualizing a square. And it's because I know what a square looks like when I look at squares, and I know when it's not that. I know like the concept of a square, and I can elucidate that with words in my head, but that's not the process that's happening when I draw a square. The process that's happening is just I draw a square. I know what a square is. I know what it looks like. If it doesn't look like it, I erase it and I draw a better square. And he was very focused on me comparing it to an image in my head, when really it's more that I know what squares have looked like when I've looked at them on paper before, and I know when it's not looking the way that a square looks. If that makes sense. And I think to me that's a distinctly different thing than the process I engage in when I like even attempt to visualize things. It's very different. Fuck it up. Need to add that as a swatch also. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I feel like this is the tiredest I have been on stream. Oh, maybe I'll have... Oh no, what time is it? Yeah, I'm not gonna have some tea. It's 7 o'clock at night. What the fuck am I thinking? I was gonna say, ooh, I could have some tea, but that is a terrible idea. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I should save this. Oh my god. Chris wasn't here and I didn't save it at all. Whew. What, like an hour of... Yeah, that would not have been fun if this got deleted. That would have been sad. What was I gonna say? Oh, I feel like this also kind of informs, at least in some way, how I feel about AI art and how it learns, and why I'm like so fucking insistent that it's different from how people learn. Because when I draw something, I'm not just copying things from a picture in my head from other pictures that I've seen. There's like a lot of conceptual stuff going on and influences that I'm like not even aware of, probably. I mean, not probably, definitely, like 100% inescapably, I would say, even. And so all those steps that influence the process, I think, are important to what makes art and transformative. Oh, I wonder if I'm gonna endeavor to stay awake till and work on this till like 10 tonight, because, or however long till it gets finished, but at least 10, because I started the stream later. than I normally do. But I'm wondering, since this is more complex, whether this is going to be one of the first streams where I like don't finish the study. I guess this is only the second study, so that's not the biggest deal if that happens. Pardon me. Sorry for blowing out anybody's ears if I did. But yeah, hopefully I'll finish this tonight. But this is a finicky one, and I want to. I feel like I kind of phoned it in with the hydrangea the other day. I didn't ultimately phone it in, but I focused on light and shadow. Oh, actually, just kidding. I did the thing that I was supposed to do. I was falling into old habits and being like, I didn't make it photorealistic, so it's bad. Huh. Phoning it in was the correct thing to do. Or rather, it wasn't even phoning it in. By not rendering it and just focusing on the light and shadow instead of focusing on rendering it so that each individual petal made sense as a petal. I think it worked as a painting, but it's so funny that my brain was still like, yeah, you cheated. That's not a painting. You didn't do it right. Yay, habits. I do really think that having a strong focus on painting realism, like when I was young, kind of broke my brain a little bit in some negative ways in terms of art. It's so hard to break out of that mindset. Whereas there are different flaws to if you focus just on like anime art in your budding artist formative years. That comes with its own set of problems because knowing anatomy and stuff is important before you fully get into stylization, because if you stylize without knowing the underlying structure, then you're just copying the styles. You're basically kind of doing what AI art does. You're just repeating shapes that you don't really have a full understanding of necessarily. You just know that when you're like, you put them down, you're like, faces look right when you do this. But have a fuller understanding and be able to invent new shapes too. Yeah. It really is, yeah. And it's unfortunate because I feel like if I have a reference in front of me, I can make photorealistic art. And I've been able to do so since like fucking like freshman year of high school. And so it helps with your technical skill. I don't think it helped with my growth as a technical artist. I think it hindered my growth as an artist in terms of representations and changing representations of things and stylization and choosing how to represent realism, how to represent things how they are in reality versus how to stylize, and just being like super locked into that. Not good. I think if I had more balance, it would have been better. But I didn't. But yeah, it's funny when you see people who are like, look at this hyper-realistic painting of a photo somebody did. And it certainly like takes a lot of like technical skill and probably time and effort to make those. But I don't find them super interesting. I find ones done with interesting media more interesting because at that point you're having to kind of like, what's the word for it? Not corral, but when you're like riding a bull by the horns, you're having to like drive its influence. It's like trying to escape from you, but you end up mastering it and getting the material to behave in a way that's like difficult in some way. I think that's interesting. Yeah, but I don't think that's. Are you sure that's true? I think when we made Gardic Phone. I think maybe I'm speaking in too broad terms. Like you're always trying to draw something as realistically as possible. Because yeah, wanting to draw things that like you've seen and that look like something that you've seen is one thing, but being fixated to the point of like, oh, okay. Yeah, my ability to paint proper highlights and shadows and faces and stuff is often much improved when I have a reference. That's normal, I think. I mean, that's why I'm like, if I tried to draw a lotus flower without this reference and lotus leaves, like I wouldn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I think references are good. It does, yeah. I wonder how delayed my I feel like I can't tell if people are just responding slow or whether my stream has a really long delay tonight. I'm gonna say something right now. And it is what? It is 7:25. And I'm gonna see when you guys say when you hear this line. Okay. That's like a 30-ish second delay probably, I think, maybe. Not so bad. Thank you, Amanda. Was I talking about before? I don't remember. Focusing on realism, painting with other media. I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, it is interesting that there's so many like oh sorry. Yeah. I'm not in my best form tonight. I'm a little bit sleepy, so even my instruction giving and like conveying human words from brain to other humans. It's a little bit rusty tonight, I feel like. All my do you guys know the subreddit One Orange Brain Cell? I feel like did we talk about this? I feel like Amanda, you maybe mentioned this sub. If not, I feel like this is a sub that you should know about. I feel like maybe I know somebody mentioned it, and it has an Amanda vibe in my head. It's the subreddit for orange cats that are being real dumb. Yes! It's a great. Where are. Like, I'm so devastated that Thumbs isn't up here because she was. When I first started. Crinkle paper. I got her a new toy that's hanging there, and she was going fucking bonkers for it earlier. Thumbelina. Reach. Oh well. But she's also had a big day. We went to the vet and everything, and she got poked and prodded, and then proceeded to run around the office while we had to wait for like an hour and a half. And I swear she covered every inch of the exam room that we were in. Yes! Oh my god, I love husky tantrums so much. I will never ever have a husky. I do not have the temperament to keep up with that, with their needs. However, I love that other people have huskies so that I can enjoy husky tantrums. And just huskies being ridiculous in general. They're such smart, goofy, like, dumb smart. Where I had a friend who had a husky who, like, would, like, if he knew he was doing something wrong and his owner would scold him, he'd, like, try and come around and convert you to his side and be like, no, I'm hiding behind them. They're my dad now. It's like, sir. Yes! I love that. These are such good cat subs. You guys are my people. I approve of all of these posts. But yeah, huskies are brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. They're just so, yeah. I have like dreams of someday maybe owning a dog if I ever own like a house that has a front or backyard or something, and I have like kids who can like play with it too. I would never want to have a husky with the current menagerie that I have because I know that I myself, just by myself, would not be able to give it the time and attention it would need. But if I had like kids or something and they wanted a husky, then I would not be opposed because I think they're very cute and cool and smart. I really like German Shepherds too. I think both breeds have problems with their hips though because of how they've been selective breeding over the years for bad form factors that are not for the animal's benefit but instead for the breeding standards benefits, which is so annoying and fucked up. Oh yeah, yeah. I knew somebody who would shave his husky every summer, but maybe that's just a normal thing for all huskies. I could see that being a normal thing for all huskies, just to like stay on top of the fur chaos. It is? Oh shit, I didn't know that. Why is it bad? Of the domesticated foxes, Victor? Oh, it does? Interesting. I had no idea. Wow, alright. I don't know any of the... We've been over this, I'm terrible with names. But I will trust that Finnegan Fox is a really cool, cool YouTube fox. What does it do? I had a friend who at one point she really wanted to get a domesticated fox. I don't know if she ever did though. I'd be so curious. She ended up getting a husky though, so. Ooh, which that would probably be interesting. I wonder if fox would be too much like prey drive with a husky. I don't know. There is absolutely a huge gap in this space that I have not rendered properly. And I'm just gonna make up as I go along. Are you asking me if you can post a link? Go for it. I should like set VIPs and stuff and maybe set it so that VIPs can post links because I definitely trust you guys to post stuff. Or subs only can post links. But there are some times when people like have interesting things to contribute and might not necessarily be subbed. So I don't know if I want to limit to that. I think limiting it to people flagged as VIPs is possibly a better option. Figure it out and figure it out. Is that the... Okay, let me see. Oh my goodness.
Silly. Hello, Winter Foxy. Run, runs. Run, runs. Run.
This is what Thumbelina does. All day, every day. He also gnaws on hands too. Oh, look at that happy little dude. Oh my god. That's really adorable. Why is he so cute? Oh my god, the noises. Goodness. What a fluffy baby. Oh my gosh, this is 5 minutes long. I don't think I have the brain span for this. Is he gonna go get something?
Yeah. Good thing got you.
It's fucking adorable though. Wait, I'm putting that in my browser for me to watch later. Yeah, I love reading about the domestication process of those because apparently during the process, they started to become more like their features changed, not just their temperament. So the more like even tempered they got, the more... I know their ears got floppier. I think there were differentiations in their coat as well that started happening. This shit is backwards. Why am I rendering this gradient backwards? It's lighter on this side and darker on the other side. What? But yeah, it's interesting. Wait, did this come up the other night when we were talking about how there are some sciences that do have some basis, even if they've traditionally been used for absolute nonsense and bullshit, and we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater by not potentially heating them. Science, I forget what it is even called though. Because yeah, talking about how the genes that make things more copacetic and tame and stuff also impact aesthetics is like very obvious in dog world. Oh yeah, the little fox laughs are so fucking cute. This kills me, absolutely. I need to adjust the pressure on some of these brushes because I find myself pressing really pressing down on my tablet sometimes to get the color I want. I'm gonna open that later. So what time is it right now? It's already 7:30. 3 more hours. I think I can finish it in 3 hours. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I feel like this is taking me longer than the first study did because this is a much more complex setting full of light and shadow that my brain doesn't necessarily automatically know how to make sense of, whereas on the other one my brain was like, oh, you've done this kind of lighting before, you know this is fine. But this one is new to me. It blends well, even if I don't get the color that I want all the time at least, so that's nice. You got any interesting site concepts that you don't get to talk about enough that you feel like elucidating on? Absolutely no worries if not, because I will happily ramble about just anything and everything. Oh shit, that's what I needed to do. Add a little bit more blue. Oh, I guess I would have to pop in Discord without tapping. I'm dumb. Either one of you guys. I feel like I really like when people have active channels where different voices and different personalities come on and offer different insights than just the main streamer. I feel like that is something I like, and I want to have a channel like that. I feel like it can get too what's the word? Echo chambery, samey. I don't really know. Do something. Red. Okay. Yeah, I feel like normally when I start a stream, I go in with an idea of the things that I like want to talk about and things I want to learn in the day, but today my brain is failing me a little bit.
How's it going, Pep?
I'm good. Got any interesting topics for me to learn about?
Well, let me think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like you always have really interesting psych stuff that isn't just like the pop psych stuff that you see on Reddit and like Psychology Today and things like that.
Thanks. Have you heard about dispositional flow?
No, what's that?
Okay, so flow is when people get really absorbed in the things they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they do it really, really well because they're kind of focused on it.
I think I have heard of like flow states and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so dispositional flow though.
So dispositional flow is just the tendency or the capacity to which one can reach the flow state. And flow state, kind of like one way to think about it for basketball, it's like the word they use is being in the zone.
Mhm.
So pretty much it's where one is fairly absorbed in the work such that, yeah, I guess the best way to describe, at least from my understanding of what I read, is that where one is just fully absorbed in the work such that it's, yeah.
I've heard
What's
it
really
described as kind of like an almost automated process where you're not as constrained by like the like thinking of the process of every individual task, but you have kind of like an overarching goal and are just like on your way to doing the things to get that goal.
So this is an interesting part about it because
Okay.
for the longest time, that's been how it's been conceptualized.
Mhm.
And there
And
are
that's
many
not what it
studies.
is.
Well, I think there's more to it than that from what I
Okay.
read. Because if you think about it, that's kind of nice, but what if all of a sudden the stuff you're doing, something unexpected comes up? Like, I think there's something to that, but I think there's also a piece of the puzzle where
Oh, actually,
it-
yeah, a good analogy for this would probably be like rhythm games or games like Counter Strike or something where sometimes you'll just have like a great game where you don't even have to think about strategy or anything. Like you just know where people are, or like with a rhythm game, you're just hitting all the notes. You're not even have to look at where they are. Like you're letting your brain do the work. And then there are times where you will fuck up or something will come out of left field, and you're just like, boom, crushed it. I got it. But then there are other times where something does come out of left field, and then it ruins everything. So, oh shit, I just fucked this up. I feel like the latter are those both flow state or is the latter
yeah.
not?
So my view about flow is
Mm-hmm.
that not only does flow occur when you're kind of synchronized
Mm-hmm.
with what you're trying to do, but also from what I read, the real flow state, the kind of flow state that translates into all kinds of activities and not just the ones where you need a quick reaction speed.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you're like playing chess or something like that, then you have to think a bit more each time you move, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the flow state in that might be a little bit different from the flow state where you're just instantly reacting to things without thinking. Sometimes you have to think
Mm-hmm.
to do well with your task. So my understanding from what I read is that the real flow state comes from exercising that part of our brain that has kind of that, the word they use is executive control. So
Okay.
that's where it's a little bit different. So there still is a certain level of like kind of being in the zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being fast with it, but then it's mixed with a certain level of like you are in command of what you're doing. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
else, like
Kind
not
of like
reactive.
manning a ship and everybody obeys all your orders flawlessly, but you're
No,
still
you are.
the captain of the ship.
It's a very proactive
Mm-hmm.
disposition. It's not reactive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it's everything is very deliberate in what you do. So maybe what I would imagine, what I also read that's really interesting about part of flow is I think it's also a part of it is associated with letting go of the results,
Oh, interesting.
right?
All
Like
right.
Yeah, so it's like, for example, if you are making some art and in the back of your mind you're thinking like, well, I really want to make this good and it better not screw it up. And apparently the best kind of flow state would come out when you say, you know what, I'm just doing art for art's sake and I'm gonna do my best. Whether I do good or bad, those thoughts don't even come into my mind. I'm just here doing what I have to do. And if you
That's
think
so
about
funny,
it,
yeah.
yeah, what's really interesting, so it's like you let go of the end results, and that allows you to really be more absorbed in the task at hand.
Mhm. I feel like that one drawing with like the rainbow hair, some of the drawings that I just do at the end of the night when if I um have already finished like whatever piece that I wanted to work on, and I'm just fussing around doodling, they feel like that. And every once in a while I'll do stuff like that and I'm like, damn, why can't I just do like actual art like this like on command when I want my brain to? Then I'll have like stuff that was just supposed to be like a quick like stress relief doodle, just kind of like, meh, just not really paying attention to anything, and then out comes something like pretty nice. It's like, how? Flow state,
Yeah.
I guess, is the answer.
Yeah, lucid might be a good word. There's something, yeah, and I think this whole thing comes out in many ways, right? Like in many aspects of our life. Like sometimes it's okay. So my cat really loves cuddling with me. And
Mm-hmm.
in the morning
Oh.
time, yeah, in the morning, it's like I have to go to work, but then my cat just really wants to pin me down and cuddle because he's just a big fluffy fluff. And yeah, and so it's like sometimes it annoys me that it's like the best cuddles happen right like only 15 minutes before I absolutely have to get up. Sometimes I ask
Mm.
myself, why can't we just cuddle like this all morning? This,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it might be a silly analogy, but I think there's some similarity there
No, yeah,
because
that tracks.
in the back of my mind, when there's only 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta make these cuddles count.
Mm-hmm. It's
And I
kind of
feel
like in
like,
the morning if you like wake up in the middle of the night and you know, like you're calculating in your head like, okay, I only have X amount of hours left to sleep. I have to get good sleep now, kind of
yeah,
thing. That same kind of garbage.
but it's like when you let go of it, you have the best sleep.
Yep,
So I would imagine that that's very similar to flow, like you perform your best when you let go of those end results.
that would absolutely make a lot of sense. Hmm. It's funny how many interesting like connected dots there are in terms of like, oh yeah, that makes sense that that would be better for doing paintings, and also yeah, 100% makes sense that if you're obsessing over the that you need sleep, you're not going to be able to actually like engage your brain in the way your brain is being powered by to do things that aren't directly related to making the task more successful. It's more just tasks related to making your brain more anxious about it, which I feel like is, hey, purple, which is sometimes
Yo.
almost like a self-soothing thing. I feel like some people engage in like I know I do this sometimes. Um as an OCD person, thinking over if I like get anxious about a worst case scenario, then I try to think through all the ways that it could go wrong, all the things that I could possibly do to avoid it. Basically just spend a lot of time ruminating and thinking on a thing, which isn't actually necessarily helpful, but it feels good to the brain. And so I feel like that's kind of similar to what the brain does when you're working on a project and are like, oh god, this needs to be good. Um, it may feel good in the moment to be like, yes, okay, I need this to be great. I'm going to focus on that. Okay, I'm dedicated and diligent, but it's as harmful as the kind of like OCD ruminations about,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, it's definitely an interesting topic to explore because, okay, so I'm assuming that you're a fan of Hayao Miyazaki's work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's something here in like Southeastern Asian culture that I sometimes notice that's really interesting. Like, for example, he has that one movie, Princess Mononoke, which I think is just a fantastic piece of work. And if you've seen that, you know that I think this isn't really a spoiler if anybody hasn't seen it, so I think it's okay to say it out loud. But there's a one scene where he's like slicing those arrows in half as they come at him, and it's like, whoa, could you really do that in real life? And I mean, it's an anime, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes you
But maybe
see,
flow state.
yeah, flow state. It's like, why not? Why isn't that possible? Why do we have to limit our minds thinking about only this much is possible, right? I bring that up because I've noticed that in other aspects of Eastern Asian culture, sometimes I think there could be more of like an emphasis on trying to enter flow states. Like when even you look at kind of the whole Zen idea about that comes from Japanese culture, right?
Yeah, I can
And
see that.
and yeah, there's something about it where it's not as much about like the results, but just like the spirit behind it. For example, I'm teaching snowboarding right now, but really recently, some of the most amazing snowboarders in terms of the half pipe tricks, doing insane stuff like no fear, just going right in there, have
Mm-hmm.
been these Japanese individuals. Like very recently, there's a Japanese snowboarder who now I think has the world record for highest jump in a half pipe, and one of them got like this insane run where he did like I don't know four what they're called triple corks in a row, which is an extremely hard move. But
Dang.
for mine, what one thing that really initially attracted me to learning more about Southeastern Asian culture was from my understanding, there is a real emphasis, at least in Japanese culture, and I also think in maybe Chinese culture and other things I haven't looked into as much, an emphasis on one's ability to enter those flow states. And I think, for example, that might be another reason why anime can be really popular to people. Because I think a lot of times animes will emphasize the process of entering and maintaining those flow states, where
True.
you can even question what it means for something to be possible or impossible, like really pushing the boundaries of your mind,
Mhm.
right? Live by your spirit, not by what you're afraid of and all that. So,
That's
yeah.
interesting. I hadn't made the anime connection. That's very true and awesome. It is like delight. I know that there's a subreddit that's just for people being like extremely good at their job. And oftentimes it's people like doing some sort of like manual labor task extremely beautifully and efficiently. And that like people in the flow state in that way are it's super fun and entertaining and engaging to watch because it's just so effortless looking. So it absolutely tracks that in like a media as popular as anime, getting to see people be their like most badass effortless self is also that satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it reminds you, why can't you be this way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
Purple, what do you think of these if you're here, Purple, what do you think of these ref images so far? Or for oh god, what have I done? Um for this painting. The water lilies are gonna go on top. Ah, stop messing around. The flower is gonna go on the bottom. And then the girl is gonna go in the middle. Because for the draw a day. Ah, okay. Thanks for chatting. For the draw a day sub thing. Boy, this really looks like this kind of style of illustration of these leaves is making me think of kind of corporate illustration styles, which is a little bit annoying. But for the draw a day sub, the prompt was curly hair. And that was a good curly hair photo. Good lighting. And I think it'll mesh with this color scheme pretty well. I think I gotta remember to zoom out on these more because I get too caught up in the weeds and can't see the forest for the trees with a lot of this stuff. That's a fun diversion though. I love learning new stuff.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I'm learning things that I didn't expect to learn to be kind of like side benefits of doing studies. Just like recognizing how much I was kind of overcomplicating this and fixating too hard on the details when I hadn't even mapped out what the overall thing was supposed to look like. And doing like almost AI like dumb shit in terms of how I'm rendering stuff, where I'm just making it look how it like vaguely is supposed to look, but it doesn't make any actual sense. So learning that I need to probably step back more and render things more not uniformly but holistically, I guess I could say. Taking into account where I'm at in the process of the entire painting instead of just being like, all right, I'm going to focus real hard on this like one lotus leaf to the exclusion of everything else. Because obviously that is a little bit suboptimal. And when I say it out loud, it's like, yeah, duh, okay, obviously. But it's just stuff that I wouldn't think about or do because I think normally when I do paintings, a lot of the time, that's how I do paintings. I'll like hyper focus on one part of it and then just do it till it's done. And it works out. But that's usually because I'm just painting pretty ladies and I know those well enough to be able to most of the time know what the rest of the painting is supposed to look like already whenever I'm working on any given part. But when it's something like this where I don't know, it is absolutely a hindrance rather than an actual skill or talent to be able to do that. It's a definite downside.
You
So yeah.
know what's interesting is one of my first ever art teachers was making a connection, I think, between something like a flow state and our
Mm-hmm.
capacity to make art.
Mm-hmm.
She, yeah, I remember her saying that. She said that school teaches us to think in a box. We have a notion about how things should look
Mm-hmm.
before we draw them, and so we'll be constantly judging our own art as we draw it out. But that real art comes when you don't judge yourself about whether it looks like what it's supposed to be or
Mm-hmm.
not. It's kind of draw the lines that are in front of you. So I guess that's more of a realism thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like there's no attachment to the end result, and that's how you make the really good kind of art. Where there's like no rush. You don't need to make it look like anything. You just have all day super relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
no attachments.
Yeah, I feel like calling it like being like the real art comes when this XYZ happens is funny given the all the AI art conversations we've been having about like what constitutes real art. But
It's true.
ultimately, yeah, I do think some innovation best comes from that, where you're not so caught up in the weeds that although some innovation does come from really like thinking about a subject and innovating on it. But I think art wise, a lot of the time just like letting things happen paint wise and seeing how it goes is really beneficial, but also feels really scary when you're, especially when you're working with real media, not digital. Oh my god. And knowing that if you're just like kind of winging it with a brush stroke and then you can fuck up this thing that you've been working on for hours, that's always a terrifying thought. Digital, I feel like, is much more forgiving in that regard.
I hear you.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe with AI we'll see. I don't think there's more that we can innovate on in terms of alleviating that risk of putting brush to canvas. Or that feeling of risk when you're putting brush to canvas, basically. We already have the undo menu. We already have the content aware replace tool. We have like we have a good stable of tools that work really fucking well for stuff like that. I'm curious to see what is contributed AI-wise in terms of new tools for like Photoshop and stuff for traditional art. Oh my god, did you guys see the tweet today of the person that applied to a company with a resume that was just all for AI art and was like, I can make 200 arts per day for you. And everyone was like, dear God, please do not send anyone 200 arts per day. That's sending them a new job to do. Like, that's terrible. And honestly, even an AI artist, I think that was kind of overblown. I could see finishing. Yeah, right, Amanda? I feel like if an AI artist was being honest with like how long getting a good result from a prompt took, I don't see somebody making 200 like usable or functional arts per day. I feel like he's just talking about, I generated X amount of images with Midjourney. Hey, how's it going? Gunryoki? I'm so bad at saying names, so please tell me if I got that incorrect. But yeah, it's the whole resume was basically like it seemed to have a fundamental misunderstanding of what the job entailed, and there was an interesting discussion about like, hey, part of the value of being an artist for a company like designing anything is your capacity to edit and your design knowledge, and not just like, here's a bunch of stuff and handing it to the art director to like fucking deal with. Like, you do the dealing with, and that's something that a lot of AI people don't have the ability to do. Why is my wrist vibrating? More weather warnings. Okay. But yeah, that was interesting. Like, not even art being part of the process, but the ability to select which art and ignore all the others being more important than just a volume of art. It's like, oh yeah, when you spell it out, it makes sense. But a lot of people just think of being able to do the art, period, and that's what you need. That's all you need.
Yeah. I should go because my cat is...
It's your cat's bedtime.
Yes, and you know, he's in charge here, so...
Absolutely. As, you know, it makes sense.
As the national...
We're... Yeah, exactly. We're down with cat supremacy. I welcome our cat overlords. Our future cat overlords. Alright, well, thank you for having a good chat. And you have a wonderful, lovely, snuggly evening.
You as well, Pep.
Thanks. See you.
See ya.
I thought Thumbs was back, but it's just Ferbert. How's your night going? Gone? Gone or Yuki? Yuki sounds easier to say. Gone sounds like a word. Yeah, Ferbs is back there crunch-a-munchin'. Did you get a look at the images when I was showing them earlier, Purple, of what the grand plan for this is tonight? Oh, good morning. Good stuff. Man, that happened the last time I streamed, where a couple times I did some 12-hour streams where I got like really super into a piece of art and like stayed up all night working on it, and I ended up I was up till like 3 in the morning, I think, and I met a whole new crowd of people. It was very, very interesting. Well, I hope you're having a lovely morning over there. Yes. Yeah. Thumbs has started doing that with dinner time. If it's dinner time and I'm not feeding her, she will run around and sprint around the house and then make little goblin noises at me, like a tiny little sweet demon. It's very adorable. Oh, got it, okay. Oh, nice, awesome. What kind of paint? Painting with traditional media is so much harder than digital stuff. Nice, alright. It's one of those things where I feel like talent at traditional or digital easily translates from one to the other, but learning control of the specific mediums is a bitch. It's very tricky. Yeah? Good stuff. Okay, Zaros came in and was like, whoa, these colors. My color options. Okay, so wait, did I close the notes? So the first colors I generated were these, and it's like all of these seem like there's like I could go, I guess, like that with the green, blue, gray, or I could go like that. Or I could go like that. But then I got this one and was like, oh, well, I'll eliminate the two colors I used the other day. And then you get these. Yeah. Thumb sounds like a weird tiny little alien because her meow doesn't like meow correctly. So she does weird little... She'll go on the stairs and do this strange like chittering little scream that kind of like... It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. She sounds like a strange little alien goblin or something. It's pretty great. I'm sure that it will be audible at some point on stream. Oh yeah, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, assertively cuddly is a good way of putting it. I think now that Ferbert's back on his meds, he's been back to his usual assertively cuddly self too. It's been very cute, but also it's another thing that wakes me up. Both these two cats want so much attention in the middle of the night. Basically at all hours, really. I'm gonna add another little stick in here just because I feel like it. Because the painting doesn't have to be literal. Progress. Brain progress. They're truly the best. In fact, it's probably better for this not to be an exact one-to-one kind of like attempt at doing it, because then that's not me learning how to actually like paint lilies. It's just me learning how to paint and reproduce light and shadow. I feel like I have done that for a lot of this painting though, unfortunately. However, there are certain leaves where I'm like, oh, okay, I grasp how to do this. I think maybe I'll emphasize a couple of those parts a little bit more to kind of get more firm grasp on the overall painting, I think. Oh god. Alright, see ya, good night! Thanks for hanging, as always. Alright. But yeah, I don't know if I'm... So, on Monday? Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Why is it not giving me the option to move the thing? On Monday, I finished the thing I was working on that night, which was cool and awesome. I feel like because I'm a little bit brain dead and tired and underslept, I don't have the same confidence in my ability to finish this one tonight, and especially because this particular section is more finicky than I thought it would be, which is good. It means I am painting something that I haven't painted before, and I'm learning. And this is good because I wanted to paint fucking water lilies in one of the paintings the other night, but didn't know how to paint water lilies and made it look like a water... What did it end up looking like? I remember it looked like something, and it was not a water lily. And suffice to say, I definitely need a practice, basically. Hopefully I will Get good. That's the goal. Right now I'm in the get good scrub stage of knowing how to paint lotuses. What's everybody up to this evening? Oh, nice. Let me see. Oh, the harsh critique section. Oh, nice. Dang, these are awesome. You can draw dudes way better than I can. That's legit. I'm so excited to have another artist posting art in there. I do want to get some good harsh critiques and feedback going. Right? Yeah, I looked at that and I was like, damn. I expect when people post art, it can be anything from like a crayon sketch to AI art to like one of my artistic heroes or something. So it's always nice to see art that's like on the really cool range of things. Weirdly, I feel like normally... Oops, I just drew. I feel like normally I would want to paint the flowers in a painting more than anything. But I think because I've been focusing on the leaves so much, I avoidant of it. Weirdly. But I guess I can zoom back in and do a flower. That edge needed a little bit of capture though. Just a little bit in front of the object it was. Or maybe I should take a break from painting this panel and I can paint one of the other panels. Who knows? I'll try my hand at painting one lily and then move on to the hand or the girl next. Who knows? Yes, people redlining your work is one of the most invaluable things I've had as an artist. I used to be part of like this art forum way back in the day, and people there were really mean, but and like when they like drew over stuff and like made kind of like harsh notes on it, it was really brutal, but my art has never improved as much since then as when I was in that forum. However, I'm hoping if I paint every day, that was back when I was in high school, when I didn't have as much time to paint. So maybe now that I have more time to paint, I'll be able to, and I have the internet. I'll be able to make more leaps and bounds in terms of artistic progress. We'll see. Something that's interesting too is redlining from other artists is really useful, but also kind of just asking people who aren't artists. Sometimes people can't actually discern what is wrong with an image or what needs to be fixed, but they can tell you when it doesn't look right. It can be valuable too. But man, nothing can ever be as valuable as good criticisms from other artists. Maybe that's hyperbolic, but y'all know. For some reason my voice is giving out tonight too. I don't know why. Maybe I need to hydrate more. I'm planning on going probably till 10, I think, because I got a late start today because I had to pick up my cat from the vet. But I also only got like 2.5 hours of sleep last night and the night before. So Who knows if I will. What time is it right now? Y'all are lucky I didn't just like pour this on myself when I went to look at my watch. It's 8 o'clock right now. That's 2 more hours. I think I can last 2 more hours, but I don't think I'm going to finish this painting by then. But it will be a good painting when I'm done with it. Oh god. No, things happening. What's interesting is this painting is turning into the reason I was considering setting a time limit for myself for certain drawing studies I do, because specifically did I? Oh, you're just getting some water. Okay. Because I knew that there would be ones where I would have a tendency to overwork them and hyperfixate on dinner. Yeah, sure, go for it. On details and stuff. And I seem to be doing that. Yeah, I figured my brain mentally translated VO to VC. I honestly didn't even notice the typo. Maybe it's because my brain is in a flow state. It's not. Definitely not this evening.
Greetings. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I don't know. So yeah, I'm gone. I'm new here. Hello.
Welcome. I used to stream like 6 years ago and just started up again recently, so this is also a kind of, we're kind of fresh and new as a, yeah.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, I took an extended break, but now I'm back. So the community itself is also still, we've got some people who were around from before. Yeah, I mean, selective, but also just like kind of fresh and new also here, so it's a good time to be a new person here, basically, is what I mean to say. Because there are a fair amount of new people too. So you're in good company, basically.
People need a place to belong.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of fun art streams on here, but I want to make a combined like Discord art like criticism community, and also to discuss interesting topics and learn something new every day. Well, every time I stream. That sounded so generic, but it's well intentioned if generic.
Everything's generic. Every
Yeah.
decision, you know.
Yeah. Kind of like the whole there's no original thought. So how long have you been doing art?
Since elementary school.
Nice.
First time I'm doing art is what is it? I'm not native to English language, so I'm very sorry if I say things wrong.
No worries.
It was started in elementary school.
Good stuff. And you sound like you're 20s?
Yes.
30s? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You've been at it for a bit. That's good. Makes sense given how that painting looked. Got some good solid structure there. For sure.
Yeah, I combined, what is it, manga and Western comics together. So it looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's something that one of the main goals that I have this year is to develop a style for myself, because the only style that I have art-wise is just incidental. It's not because I've like decided to, like you said, combining like Western and manga style. I have no style that's that intentional or concrete or well thought out. It's all just, hey, I like rendering things, and this is how it looks like when I render them. So I need to have something more intentional than that, and that's going to be one of my focuses this year as well.
For me, in my opinion, anything that, what is it, you see every day, like art wise or like things around you, may change the way you draw.
Absolutely.
This,
So you're new to this channel, but we had a whole interesting discussion on this. Do you know anything about AI art?
yes, I do.
Okay.
Kind of terrified about it, but I'm not making money from art, so I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I can see
But
how it's threatening and could be like kind of abused by. It's going to be because of capitalism. Corporations are going to use it to justify paying like less artists because they can just generate things. But I think art will always exist, and there will always be people who want
mm,
human art made by humans.
I mean, like
And
in the old days, people
mhm,
are drawing themselves in a cave and all that kind of stuff. This is art. This is just tradition
mhm,
going down. What is it? To the lines of what is it? Yeah, you know what I mean.
mhm.
So we just
Yeah,
continuing the tradition of the old days.
yeah, and what you said about how everything you see during your day, like it influences, like the style of what you create. That was one of I got into like a debate with people about how art, AI art generators don't learn the same way humans do because all they're taking in is just data of other finished complete pieces. They're not just taking in randomly every like facet of your day that would influence like your perception of things. Like if you live in a place that has like really beautiful light at 3 p.m. and it casts a beautiful shadow across your floor, you're going to maybe be somebody who's more inclined to get into like drawing beautiful lighting and shadow effects or something. And an AI can't have those experiences yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just data, and I mean, it's stealing, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah, the companies just used the data that the most like commonly in use AI art generators use
what?
was a
Yeah.
data set for research purposes,
Hmm.
and it was not
But what
supposed to be
I'm
used.
afraid of is the like
Yeah,
term and services of it, like
of the
the
art sites.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of the like face recognitions and stuff. Like they
Mm,
can use your face for like other stuff that they can do, because only just a click of agreement they can
yeah.
use your face to do whatever they want.
Something that I was gonna bring up as an argument is like, what if like Apple or Google or whatever was recording every phone call you made and then used your voice to create like a new Siri or something? Would people be as chill about that as they are about AI art being stolen?
Hmm.
I'm curious about that because I know some people. It's interesting that the intersection of people who are being like, it's not theft, it's new, and this is the future. All artists can go suck it. The intersection of the people who are like that and people who are also like, I don't want any data of me to exist anywhere on the internet. Da, 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 da. And it's like, damn, dude, like, how can you not see the parallels here?
Things things like that, like that's what they fear in the past, right?
Yeah,
And it happens today. Now people don't have a choice because it's already established behind our backs.
yeah,
We only have to accept it or just hit ourselves good enough or not be a bad quote unquote citizen to not, get in trouble or whatever. But yeah, for me, just don't get in through their bad side, I guess. 'Cause,
yeah. Where in the world are you, if you don't mind me asking? Feel free
I'm
to not
in
say.
I mean, it's okay. I'm nobody important. It's okay. I'm nobody important.
We're
In
also a small
Indonesia.
channel here, so it's
I'm sorry. Well, you'll grow big. Don't worry about it. You have a good vibe. You have a good, what is it, sense of humor.
good.
Don't worry
Yay.
about it.
Glad to hear
I'm
it.
from Indonesia.
Oh, nice. Okay. Awesome. How are things over there nowadays? I feel like I
Uh,
haven't heard news, which is probably good news.
um, uh, we what is it? Got a kind of crisis with
Oh
like
no.
oil, not oil, but what is it? Cooking oil?
Oh shit.
I don't
That's no
know
good.
why. I was like,
Huh.
okay,
I wonder
that's
if
kind
it's
of
could it be supply chain stuff? I know in America right now, they're all groceries are so expensive
mm,
because of supply chain issues from the impact of the pandemic and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's repercussions like that in other countries too.
let me warn the chat that this is going to be a very not. I'm not really a political person, but this is what
Okay,
I know from the news.
got it.
So if you want me to stop talking about it, I'll stop. Just warning you right now. You
Yeah,
can
sure.
press the stop button. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, because of the war that's
Hmm.
happened, the what is it? Yeah, like you said, the supply chain issues with the you know we need to send this to this island, whatever, whatever,
Yeah.
because our oil is not. We not in Indonesia. We do not consume our own oil.
Okay.
That's very interesting. Our own oil is bought by like a what is it? I don't know, Germany or other
Hmm.
countries that use oil as fuel.
Okay.
There was like a country that used only oil for fuel, and our oil, our sugar too, used as oil there. So we send all the things over there. Maybe there's some company, some industrial companies here that produce only for local, but it's hard to
The
produce.
majority
Oh,
isn't.
yeah,
Okay.
I understand it. That's why I support like local stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
Like,
That is very much the vibe of all of us here, I believe, too. Uh,
even though I
definitely
bought,
support
yeah,
local stuff.
even though I bought like many things from a big company, but still,
Hmm. Well, I mean, we live in a world where sometimes you need something, and the only way you can afford to get it is from a. It's the whole there's no ethical consumption under capitalism thing. Like, I feel like people should make a reasonable effort to get things in ethical ways, but if it's taking more if you're it's doing more damage to your life to go further out of your way to only consume more ethical things, I feel like that takes away energy from doing more productive stuff, like maybe making more money so you can donate to charity or advocating for causes. I think a reasonable amount of effort to like if a company's like, we only employ slave babies, infants because they have the tiniest hands, then I feel like people should probably take a stand. Um, but there's so much nowadays that is inextricably intertwined with just like really egregiously unethical things that it would be hard to avoid everything that's
yeah,
problematically produced, basically.
equal good and equal bad in this world.
Yeah. Yeah, Amanda, like Nestle. Oh, that was
If
something I
there's
was gonna say too. It's funny
if
how
there's e- yeah, there's
go ahead.
if there's evil, there must be good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I concur.
even though
Um
capitalism is good, it is bad in a way, but it's also good in a way.
yeah, I feel
Even
like there was some truth to the whole idea of like at one point capitalism was good for innovation and like competition of ideas and interesting things, but I feel like we have not
gone too
necessarily
far.
yeah, we've gone too far and now it's just crony capitalism and just people trying to raise their quarterly profits over and over again every time in unsustainable ways, which will never like exponential growth is.
Limitation is important, right?
Yeah,
Limitation or restrictions in a way is very important.
yeah,
But they
I
don't have
agree.
restrictions.
Yeah,
That's
no.
why they can just climb through the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much that needs to change in terms of like how corporations kind of control the United States and how that impacts everything. Because yeah, the impact of corporations on basically forcing us to be stuck in capitalism endlessly. While and also like all the layoffs that I'm hearing about lately, there's so many people getting fired while companies are posting record profits, and it's just like how
Oh, same here too.
yeah, it's bizarre. It's
It's
just
all.
so corrupt.
I think it's all around the world now. There's
Yeah,
so many layoffs. Thank God that I don't work to a company. I just
that's
work.
good. Yeah.
I'm a swimming coach and a boxing coach and a
Oh, nice.
toddler teacher.
Oh, that's
Uh,
really cute.
yeah. I think I was a toddler teacher.
Ah,
Now they don't need my energy anymore, but they still need
bummer.
my coaching energy. So yeah,
We have a. So you said you're a swimming coach and a. Oh, what was the second one? I forgot because then you said
boxing
toddler
coach.
teacher, boxing coach. All right, we have another dude in here who is a skiing and snowboarding instructor. So we're gonna have a veritable gym going here soon.
Oh man, I'll track your guys' what is it progress.
Actually, that is something that I wanted to. I was gonna see if I should add that to the Discord. Have a like fitness area because I know a bunch of us are kind of fitness minded or are like trying to get better at fitness or get in shape and stuff. So
Yeah, to
that's a good reminder for me to do that.
yeah, a healthy body have a healthy mind. That's
Yeah.
my what is it? My mindset. So I try my best to make people around me fit. Maybe I just, hey, do you want to jog? No, I don't feel good. This isn't that. Okay, why don't just have a walk at the morning? How many kilometers? Who knows? We just have a conversation and then we talk like a couple kilometers away.
Yeah. I feel like that's really, really good. And something that's like really hard when you're having like mental health issues or dealing with depression or something is a doctor will be like, you should get out and exercise more. It'll make you feel better. And you're like, yeah, probably. But then you have to like get that motivation up by yourself. Sometimes having like an accountability. Have you ever heard of an accountability buddy? It's a
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
understand what you mean.
yeah, yeah. It really helps to have somebody who can, when you don't have like the capacity to push yourself to do something, to be there to kind of like coax you along with them and make it not like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Some of my students in boxing and swimming, I'm sorry to say this, but they got bullied in school. They
Oh.
got bullied in what is it, their neighborhood and whatever. Always told them, okay, if you got bullied every what is it, every Sunday, like when you're well, have a free time, okay, in the afternoon, every 3 p.m., go to the go to the park with me. We go train. We go have fun.
Mhm.
Just exercise our body till we are tired. We go home and we feel good. I don't know. I don't feel the. I don't feel that. Just try. I'll be there. Said to them. Yeah.
Yeah,
This kid. This kids just need what is it? A person to be there to
yeah,
guide
somebody to
them.
have their back. Yeah.
I understand it because in like elementary school and high school, I was a bullied kid.
That
Even
sucks. I'm
though
sorry.
I mean, it's okay. It's like some kids need like a little bit of trauma.
That's an interesting take. Although I don't disagree. There are some people who I feel like the ability to empathize with others often unfortunately only comes as a consequence of trauma, and there are plenty of people I know who they've had like maybe two cushy lives where they haven't had to experience anything bad enough to make them like
To
realize
understand
that
the real
yeah, how
world is this crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
how bad things can get.
one of the kid that I trained in the boxing, he was very, very what is it, bullied and things like that. I said, okay, we go to the gym like every time we done with training.
Mhm.
But I don't have money. I said, it's okay. I know this place. They know me. They'll give you a discount, a big discount. Trust me.
Aw.
And the place was like, we can't give him this much of a discount. I said, it's okay. I just cover it. Just let him pay a little bit, and the rest I'll cover it.
Nice,
So
yeah.
we've been like in the gym for like 3 months now. Still unknowingly that I still paid for the rest of it.
Oh, that's adorable.
Now he was
Aw.
like, now he have a big chest and stand strong, and people like what is it?
Nice, that's
Res-
awesome.
respect respected him in the school, and then asking him about tips of being in the gym or whatever. I said, so how's your life? I said, my life is good, sir. I said, good.
Aw.
Now what's the thing that what you learn from this experience? I said, when I fall, I'll try myself to go back up, or find, or maybe there's a blessing from the God. Find me a person keep that get me back up, just like you, sir. Said, okay, now you
Aw.
understand all of this. Now try. Now, if there's someone asking for your help, never say no. Try to help. Give them tips, but don't help them too much.
Yeah.
Make them try. Just say, okay, sir, I'll try. And he's now a helper in the group.
Oh,
You
that's
know.
awesome. Man, I love happy endings. That's a good result to that story. I feel like I've been hearing too many stories of people being like people trying to help people and having somebody just kind of take advantage of them uh
Mm.
indefinitely and just oh god, what did I do with this brush? Oh, okay, never mind, I fixed it.
Well, things like that happen all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, some of my quote unquote friends know that I cut off from my life, done that to me. I was like, okay. But I never regret giving them all of those blessings. Because why? Because now I have tenfold.
That's awesome. I like that philosophy, yeah. If there's something nice about even if the person didn't in the long run didn't end up deserving the kindnesses you gave them or like kind of abused the privilege or basically turned into a negative in some way, you still were being like a good person and doing your best and showing that you interact with the world in a healthier and positive and more wholesome way than they are. And so even if they didn't deserve it, the world still did, and you still stayed yourself and stayed true to your like desire to be a good person and promote good in the
Because
world, basically.
that's who you are. You
Hmm.
know, it's
Yeah,
okay if it's late to what is it? Realize that they're bad. At
yeah,
least you realize, and you have to have this courage to cut them off. You have to, because every parasite that landed into like a plant, one way or the other, that plant's gonna die, or they won't grow, they won't
hmm,
branch to another places. So yeah, have a courage to cut them off. If not cut them off, just have a distance. Don't be there
yeah.
too much. But he's my
That makes
only
sense.
friend. But she's my only friend. Well,
Get new ones.
yeah, the hardest thing to do is just find a new one, because it's hard to what is it to trust people these days.
Yeah,
Even though you
absolutely.
know so well that out there's a good person.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things where I feel like Amanda, fitness taco in your face. What's a fitness taco? Man, now I want tacos. That sounds good.
I
Um,
don't even know fitness taco.
yeah. It's interesting nowadays that with the internet, there is more connection than ever. So you could theoretically make friends easier than ever. I made friends with people during the pandemic that live literally across the country from me. who I would never have interacted with otherwise if it wasn't for video games. But there's also, I feel like we're more polarized culturally than ever. So making friends can kind of be a minefield of like, all right, I'm friends with this person. They seem cool. All right, everything seems normal. Like they're not saying any crazy shit. Do they believe in like the pandemic? And like, do they are they like crazy Trump supporters? Like, where what horrible thing are they hiding underneath a seemingly normal surface? I feel like is a unfortunately common problem. And then you often don't find out until you like know them and are just like, wait, what the fuck? You believe this? Oh no.
For me,
Mhm.
uh, well, I have a religion. I have
Okay.
like a specific point of view of what is it, political things. But
Mhm.
the thing that it talk in the game that resonate with me the most is from uh, what is it? What's the game name? I forgot. L.A. Noire.
I haven't played
Never
it.
dis Yeah, never discuss religion or politics. The result is war if you do that. I was like, I understand what they mean,
Yeah.
what that talk means. Try not to push your agenda. You're talking
Yeah.
to a person right now. They don't know you, you don't know them. Try to understand each other. If they disagree with this, listen. Oh, you don't disagree with this. Okay, why? This, and this. Okay. Oh, I understand what you mean. Don't push. Just understand. And
Yeah.
if the other person understand that you're trying to not push this agenda, but try still have the intention to see them as friends, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. I go back and forth on that. Ultimately, I recognize that it's most of the time it's more beneficial to it's not beneficial in terms of changing their mind to be like, oh my god, your ideas are fucking stupid or whatever, like make fun of their ideas or talk shit about people for whatever ideas they hold that may be counter to mine. In practice, sometimes it is
Difficult.
tricky to, yeah, when people are just, because sometimes people are so stubborn. And I feel like I tried to avoid a lot of politics and
Yeah.
other hot button issues the last time I streamed, and I'm not doing that this time. But also, there is a happy medium. I think it is more important to actually, for effective change, to actually engage with people on like why they believe the way they feel and figure out kind of like the root causes for their stuff, and then reframe it and be like, hey, so this is this way. Do you still feel that way about the topic you're stating? And try to come to a mutual understanding where both of you are kind of like operating from the same factual basis and forming opinions from there. I think that is super,
Good.
super
That's good.
duper useful and important.
It's, maybe it's because there's like there are tons of languages in Indonesia. Indonesia is one language that unite these islands. And even in the specific island, there's tons of different languages, like local languages that needs to be
Mm-hmm.
understood. And also, there's tons of races. There's like
Mm.
light tan people, and there's a dark tan people. There's big eyelid person. There's a small eyelid person. Blah 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 blah. All that
Mm-hmm.
kind.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, there's not unfortunate. That's what is it, unique of all of us.
Oh yeah, I don't mean all the different features are unfortunate. I meant, oh, I thought you said there's a lot of racists, not a lot of races.
I mean,
Okay.
racism always be there.
Yeah, okay.
It have to be expected. Like I said, equal good, there will be equal bad.
Mhm.
I mean,
I
that's
was
why.
reading, I was interpreting that sentence in such a different way because I was like, yep, yeah, people with different eyelids, yeah, there's going to be racists who are shitty about that. Yeah, yep, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
of course, that's true. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Those things happens, but nowadays we try to understand each other. There's
That's awesome.
there's six religion here:
Okay.
Muslim, Christian, Catholic, uh, Buddha, Hindu, then Konghucu, I think. And Chinese religion, and
Yeah, I was gonna
we
say I don't
try
think I've heard of that one.
we we tried our best to, what is it, co-align with each other, and it works. Sometimes it's not, because some people have egos. There's nothing bad with the religion for me, and I try to tell this to many people. There's nothing bad with the religion. It's only the individual that do the bad thing in the name of the religion itself. So when there's a discussion in like social media about religion and stuff, I say, "Are you really sure it's about the religion? Have you
Hmm.
read the book? Have you understand the book? Try to understand it. Never
Yeah, I was gonna
judge
say I don't. I
the
haven't
book."
read enough of different. I've read the Bible, but I haven't read other books on religion.
Yeah. Never read, never judge the book by the individual who who carried it.
Hmm.
It's not the cover anymore.
Yeah,
The
by the worst
person
person
who
reading
carried
it.
it.
Somebody brought up. I saw this on Twitter a while back, but somebody was like, "Have you ever read Amazon reviews for like your favorite book?" And you know that how there's like some asshole in it there who just gets it entirely fucking wrong, but thinks that his interpretation is like the only perfect interpretation. Now imagine like how many people there are like that and how much that's impacted religion, and you can kind of understand why the fuck we're where we're at today. And it's like, oh damn, that's a fun analogy. Yeah, the guy writing an Amazon review for my favorite book, definitely. I could see him doing a number on any fucking religion he tries to read or internalize.
I mean, like the same as art. When you draw and you put it into like social media, some people will say, "Oh, your form is suck. Oh, your color is jank. This and that. This and that. This and that." When I was quote unquote young, I don't know. I'm 25. I see myself as quite wise enough that I don't see myself as young anymore.
Hmm.
I was like, long time ago, was like, no, I don't accept this. Ban, 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 ban. But now I was like, I messaged them. I was like, explain to me why. Explain to me why. Why is it jank? Why is it this? Why is it that? And then say, I don't know. It just feel wrong. It just feel this. I said, why? Have you any references that you can back up from this kind of, what is it, judgment? I said, oh, there's one here. I said, oh, I understand what you mean. Oh, so I need to fix in this part, fix this part. I said, yeah, okay. There's an understanding between that, and then one way or the other, we're friends now.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, that actually there was a the last time I streamed ages and ages ago, there was this guy that was like trying to troll in my channel, and he was like, "You're bad at art." And then he stayed for like a long time and eventually became one of like the main people
The
on my channel
OG.
way back then. Yeah. It was good stuff.
It's
It's
funny
funny.
when you understand. Yeah, sometimes the bad people become bad because of a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've
Evil
had
became
that.
evil for a reason. Yeah.
I feel like a core kind of like guiding philosophy I have is that a lot of people could just like, if a single person went to bat for them or like took the time to listen to them or um, just cared enough to help in some way, sometimes that can make like all the difference in the world. Now, that's come back and bit me in the ass a number of times at this point. So I'm learning to be a little bit more selective to how I apply that.
Because not everyone in this world have like a open-minded, you know, mind, right?
Yeah, you have to
You
be
know,
in a position where you actually can accept help and do like want to
both must
grow and
try
change.
to accept each other. That's it. Both must accept each other. That's the hardest part.
I just heard a weird noise and I don't know if it was a cat fighting. Be right back.
Okay. So, Chad, what do you think? Equal good and equal bad in the world. Have you encountered a good thing that happens to you in real life? If you haven't, well, have you done good things around you? You maybe talk to like a homeless person. have a chat with them, have a nice dinner with maybe if you're not afraid, of course. If the place where you live is safe enough to do it. I don't know. Simple conversation with people nowadays is very hard. You know? How about that? Hopefully, you guys are.
I'm back, and I have a cat because being an adorable little munchkin, and was fighting with the other cats, and they
Oh, really?
did not want it to be
Why?
playtime. Because she's a kitten, and she thinks that it's playtime 24/7, even when I sleep.
I heard hisses.
Yeah. Yeah, they were being
Cats,
ridiculous.
cats view
Amanda,
humans
no.
as cats.
Yeah,
That's
she
what.
views me as
That's what.
furniture at this point. That's basically what I am.
Yeah, you're a cat right now.
But she was sweet. I'm hoping, oh, she found another one of the toys on her bed. Oh, she's not visible right now. But I'm hoping she'll, oh, she can't because Fervert is on the corner by the toy. I got a new toy at the edge of the bed and I've been wanting her to play with it so everybody could see, like, all night. I think Chris, one of the people who was in here earlier, is the only person that's gotten to see it happen so far. So, it's very lucky, but everybody else will, I guess, just have to be patient.
So.
They will come eventually.
Also, how should I call you? I haven't called you like.
Oh, Pep. Pep is the probably.
Your
I will
nickname.
answer to that most readily. Yeah.
Okay. Pep, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like half of pepper, like salt and pepper.
So greetings, Pep. My name is
Greetings.
John.
Nice to meet you. Always nice to meet new people and get to hear new stories.
Cause it's kind of good, you know. When you talk to certain people, and you still don't know their names for like years, even, and you still have this good conversations with them, or like have tips about businesses and stuff. But you still don't know each other's name. You just say, "Oh, hi, you come again. Oh yeah, a
Yep.
coffee, please. All right." So, what's your story today? We're not asking of names, not asking of identity, but it's asking about stories. That's beautiful.
That is really cool. I feel like I've moved too often to like really have an experience like that. Except that there have been a couple jobs where I've worked at where I've worked in a different area than other people, but I've run into the same person multiple times, and even though I haven't worked with them enough to like know their name, we've like formed a camaraderie and are just like there's a shared understanding of life and the universe and everything.
Hmm.
It's good stuff.
Oh, did you got laid off? Oh, I got laid off too. Oh, great. Oh, oh, do you still need a job? Oh, yeah, I still need a job. Oh, I started a company here. You want to help me? Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah,
You
I
got
feel like
opportunity.
getting fucked over by your employer is very. It's almost. Well, actually, I was gonna say it's kind of a universal concept that most people know, but then there we were talking about earlier about how some people definitely have not had enough struggle in their lives. So there are plenty of people who have not had that struggle. And who is it that I was? There was somebody. There was somebody who on Twitter who was talking about like the AI art stuff. Who was like all these artists complaining that AI art is going to take their jobs. They just need to get a side hustle. Go be a game designer or a concept like person for sales pitches, or go do. They were talking about like full ass jobs. These are not
Mm,
side hustles. They were saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, just go be like a game developer or like a director somewhere." And it's like,
mm,
how does this person, what is this person's experience in the job market? Because this is nonsense. And it was like published in some sort of, it was published anywhere, which is more places than it should be published. Hi, oh my
I
goodness, are you going to come visit? Thumbs, what's up? Since you're new
I
here,
do
you haven't
believe.
met Thumbelina yet, but this is Thumbelina, and she's a cat that I
Okay.
rescued, and she has extra little thumbs on her hands.
Oh, the grabber,
Mm-hmm. The good little annoying.
the thumb goblin.
Mm-hmm. She's very, very sweet, but she wants to be involved in everything. Anyways, sorry for interrupting. Go on.
What is yeah, for me, before COVID happens, I sell my art, like like portraits of my art to like seniors of like in college or whatever. And then COVID happens, and then I cannot pay for my college anymore, and I don't want to be a burden for my family. So I choose to okay, I need to stop. College is not working. The destiny is not there. I was like, and then the swimming training thing got stopped because it's water, and if you sneeze in the water, it will go everywhere. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
And I'm jobless for a couple of months, a couple of
Yeah, it
weeks,
sucks.
and then somehow I meet this guy in my Instagram live when I'm drawing there, and he was we were talking about art, we're talking about how inking, how making comic and those kind of stuff, and then with English. And then one day he asked, "Are you Indonesian?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Indonesian." And then we talk with Indonesian now. I said, "What? Wait, you're Indonesian too? Yeah. Where do you live? I live in this part of place." I said, "Well, what? There's like a couple of blocks from here. Oh, we
Oh,
should
really?
meet." Yeah.
Dang, that's
Then after that,
awesome.
then after that, he told me that he has this like training camp that he trying to build. I said, "Oh, cool. Oh, do you need someone to make content for you?" I said, "What do you mean? What do you have Instagram?" I said, "Yeah, we do, but nobody operate it. Why not me?" Well, no, it's okay. I said, "No, no, 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 it's all right. You don't need to pay me." I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, you don't need to pay me. Just let me work. Let me record you guys doing stuff." And I built their social media. And
That's fucking
then
awesome.
now I become one of the trainers, and they train me for like a couple of months, or like how using boxing pads, how to assess what is it, trainings and stuff. And now I'm not a media person now. I'm a coach.
Nice. That is, it's really interesting how opportunities can arise in like the strangest places, basically.
Yeah,
And you just kind of have to be willing to be like, maybe this is crazy, but all right, I'm going for it.
I'm going for it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I was
It
like,
definitely can pay
uh,
off.
the thing that what is it, that inspired me from, there's a quote for like from Seneca, the godfather of what is it, Stoicism is, uh, luck is, what is it, opportunity meets preparation, or preparation meets opportunity. So you're already prepared with all of this. You're a trainer, maybe like a swim trainer, but you don't know how to train. So here's an opportunity. Bam. Will you take it? Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to be like, hello, boo. You doing good? No. Oh, that's so sad. You know what? Here's an opportunity for you. All right. Thank you, God. I say, all right. Keep it coming.
you
Keep the
mentioned
prayers coming.
you mentioned stoicism. Are you into philosophy?
I do.
Interesting.
Even though if people see like Stoicism is religion, for me, Stoicism is a mindset. So yeah, it's kind of good. It's good. I mean, I see bad things happen to me, but I never see it as a bad thing. I would see it like a stepping point, like a
Interesting. We've
chart, like a
there's a
chart in the
uh-huh.
yeah. Sorry,
It's
continue.
okay. We have a couple we've got had some interesting like life philosophy and mental health discussions in the channel so far. A guy that was on just before you left here is like our probably our resident like psychiatry like knowledge or psychology knowledge guy. Um, and he has a lot of opinions on things like that, and I'm curious to I'd love to hear you guys like talk about merits of various things and see what comes of that discussion. I don't know. I feel like there could be some interesting. Well, it could also be very boring. I have heard some very boring philosophy discussions too. So who knows whether it would be good or boring? But it's
Yep.
interesting that there's another person who is interested in philosophy in here too now.
Yeah, I mean, almost everything that we read or write is tied down to philosophy, like
Yeah.
the understanding of life itself. What do you understand about life? I understand about life is this. Oh, interesting. That's philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true for sure. Yeah, I don't know enough about Stoicism in particular, or I feel like the only people who have talked to me about Stoicism have been mostly people who were advocating for it in what felt like a very unhealthy way, where they were unwilling to recognize that the damage that things can do, and like that just shoving all the damage kind of down inside and just trying to stoic your way through it can
Mm.
sometimes do more harm than good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely suboptimal. So I feel like there's some tenets of stoicism that that I think are good, like resilience in the face of distress, and being able to take a negative situation and be like, okay, how am I going to grow from this? What what good can I derive from this turn of events?
Well,
Rather than just being like, this fucking sucks,
mm,
and it just sucks forever. I think that's great. But
it's like
yeah.
come
Go
back to
ahead.
what I said. Equal
Hmm.
good, equal bad.
Yes. Yeah, 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 definitely. I feel like unfortunately I've only heard a lot of bad people advocate for not bad people, but just the
Yeah,
people who have advocated for stoicism around me have not done so successfully. They've made it seem ineffective and kind of unappealing.
it's always the yin yang that people need to what is it to focus on.
Hmm. Actually, yeah, balance in all things I feel like is moderation and balance in all things is kind of how I probably one of my core kind of guiding philosophies a little bit, so
I talk
that
like this,
tracks.
and because of sometimes my family always discuss something and it got heat up, and yeah, but I like it because that way we're trying to understand each other. My mother
Interesting, yeah.
discussing about this, my brother discussing about this, and then I got another point of view, and then we got heat up with each other, and then we got to the point that this is the middle line. Oh, we understand each other. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, my point of view is this because I read this. Oh, no. Those readings are wrong. Really? Let's discuss it together.
See, I would love to try that. I feel like my family is much more along the lines of being they would not get to the oh, let's read it and discuss it together part sometimes. Sometimes they will. They but a lot of times no, they're very firm in their
Close-minded.
beliefs. Yeah, it can be a bit of a brick wall. Um it's again, it's that polarization of culture that I was talking about earlier, where it's like
Mm,
I feel like we have more capability of reaching out and connecting with other people now than we've ever had in the history of everything. But also the potential for kind of weirdly fostered divisions that don't actually like need to exist and are not they really only benefit people who are capitalizing on that conflict. There's so much of that nowadays that it's just kind of unfortunate.
The thing that I don't like nowadays is you have to understand me. You have to. You have to. No, I don't.
Hmm. Yeah,
No, I don't. I don't have
that's
to
fair. Yeah. I feel
because
like as long as you're like not doing harm, you can
yeah.
do whatever.
I mean, like yeah, there's like a bad thing about self harm things like that. And say no, this is my way of showing love to myself. No, it's self harm. You need to understand that. There's at a point that we need to make them understand that this is bad for you, boy. Nah, this is bad
Yeah.
for you. You need to
Mm-hmm.
understand that. No,
It's like
give me
me
that
telling my
knife.
kitten she's not allowed to chew on wires, and
She did.
she sure seems to think that she should be allowed to.
Oh, you can't make me. I'll chew any wire I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
Wires and
got this
plants.
spare
No, not
wire,
okay.
but
And she'll fucking die. If it was a person,
okay.
go for it. They can chew whatever wires they want, but this little idiot cat, I gotta keep her
So
alive.
they'll be like, you, you spouting these voices, and I don't know how to respond to that. Should I reply to it? Other voices too?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's funny. She
Uh, all right,
actually,
meow
do you have
meow,
any
ma'am.
do you have any pets?
I did. It
Oh,
passed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, at least they found peace.
That's good. Yeah, I recently had my mom's cat that I grew up with in high school recently had to be put down too, and so it's definitely one of those feelings of like miss her, but I'm happy that she's not dealing with kidney failure. She's not dealing with any of the things that were a struggle for her. She has no more struggles, and that's nice. I'm happy for her about that. But the lack of her in the world is still
Still
not
there.
my
Yeah.
favorite thing. Yeah, it's a
Other
bummer, that's for
reminiscings
sure.
about that.
I brought this up the other night when people we were talking about pets or something for some reason.
Do
But
pets have
there's
souls?
I
Is that
think
what you're asking?
so. No,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't what I was gonna say. There was an interesting phrase, just an insight of cats and dogs. They can't think of like the future, so they can't fear like the lack of a future. They
Mm-hmm.
only really live in the
The
present
present.
and then the past
Yeah.
with the like love and trust that you've given them. And I was like, so they can't fear being the part of death where they're just gone and not a part of things anymore. That's not, I mean, that's a human thing. It's an entirely human thing. All you can do is make sure they're just as loved as possible in the present until it's their time to not be here anymore. And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, that's like really
The
correct
plus,
and
yeah.
useful.
The plus side of us is we thinking about the future.
But also the downside of it.
That's also the downside because we fear all of that.
For sure. So talking about, I feel
Like,
like my brain isn't working very well tonight, but I feel like I was talking. Oh, it was Victor earlier. We were talking about flow states and how artists activating their flow state is often triggered by um, not giving a fuck about the result and just being like, all right, I'm just gonna paint to paint. And apparently, the it uses up my understanding of it. This is probably rudimentary and might not actually be correct. But to
for me,
me,
it's correct.
yeah, it makes sense to me because if you've ever played like a rhythm game or something, sometimes you get in those moments where like you're hitting all the notes, they're flying by, and you're not even thinking about it. Your body's just on autopilot. It's just doing all the things it's supposed to.
Mm.
It's going really, really well. And but then once you start thinking about it, then your brain power is
Lost
dedicated
the
to
flow.
that. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
lose the flow and you start fucking up. And it's like, wow, just like using your brain for that much more in that specific way can fuck something up so much. So yeah, it absolutely makes sense that being able to distance yourself from a piece and be like, okay, I'm just gonna paint whatever and not give a fuck. It makes absolute sense that that would be kind of a key to unlocking um, a flow state for painting, for sure.
I, I coach every day, and every day I
Nice.
coach, I do that. I just, all right, no more thinking, just do.
hmm
No more thinking, just
It's
do.
hard to get to
Okay.
that state for people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See, for me, because I always like do this like 3 years of my life, it's like, okay, let's just flip and then restart. Ta-da! go. It's like a Windows restart sound.
Mhm. I wish it was. I wish I could reboot my brain quite that easily. That would be very convenient.
Pep, you're doing it right now. You just go in the flow right now.
Oh
What are
yeah,
you
yeah, true.
talking about?
Yeah. I mean, no, with this I'm trying very I'm actually using a lot of my brain for this because I'm trying to stop myself from doing a lot of the things that I normally do when I paint because I've gotten into a lot of bad habits painting wise and I need to correct them. Um and like even the fact that I'm spending as much time on this part as I am is something that I should have set a timer. I should have set a timer and I should have done this top area in stages, but knowing that now means I learned something through painting this. So, next painting I do, I won't make the same mistake.
The
Um
transition is seamless.
yeah, but yeah, I definitely I'm not in flow state. I'm using my brain a lot to try and
All right.
engage my like old patterns of like how I paint things with kind of the new patterns that I want to move
All
forward with.
right. Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
There were a couple times I was talking earlier about how there have been a couple times where I feel like I was in a flow state and did some paintings on this channel. It was always at like the end of the night when I was done with whatever main painting I was working on, and then I was just doodling, which is very easy. Just
Hmm.
didn't really care
One
what I
time,
drew.
one time I was streaming and I don't know what to draw. Ask the chat like, okay, what do you want me to draw? I want you to draw a sexy butt. Say less. I just
Yeah,
go
perfect.
with the flow.
Uh huh.
Like,
Oh yeah, I get
okay.
if you're new to my channel, primarily what I draw is ladies. So practicing all these is very it's to broaden my horizons. But yeah, drawing a sexy butt, A-okay. No problem. Definitely
I
definitely would nail
I
that task.
I drew abs all the time. That's why I was like,
Nice.
I'm obsessed with muscles. That's why I'm a trainer.
See, that's interesting. I feel like I I have a decent foundation for knowledge of female anatomy. Male anatomy, I gotta practice on. Hi, can I help you? Yeah? Are you gonna walk on my desk? I really don't want you to
Do you
do
need a
that.
book for that?
No, I have books. I really just need to put in the practice. Um,
You need
I
someone
just.
to challenge you.
I mean, maybe. I definitely. One of my goals for this stream is I'm going to start painting. This is like one of the things that I'm doing is practice exercises where I am intentionally drawing things that I don't normally draw, like flowers or hands. And eventually, I'm gonna start drawing guys and guy bodies because they're probably like my least drawn. Um,
Hmm.
well, no, I probably don't draw like. I've drawn more dudes than I've drawn like boats or horses. Wait, yeah,
Have you ever
that's true.
draw together with your chat?
No, I haven't, but I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it depending on the format. Um, back
Maybe
in the day, I like collaborations
like
and stuff, so.
maybe there's like some people that want to do it. You can just there's like, do you know Magma Studio? Is that or
No, sorry, no, sorry, I should have enunciated.
like what's
Yeah,
that mean?
sorry about that.
Because I do sometimes with couple of people
That's cool.
on stream or outside. I always draw. I always engage them. Do you want to draw together in Magma Studio? So people draw in the same canvas.
Oh, okay, I've done that like back in the day with back in the day it was called like oikake boards and things like that, and that was I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I don't know. But it was super fun back in the day. I used to love that. But I don't know what happened to, I don't know whether the boards are still up or they went down or what, but I guess I stopped going to them. I don't remember why. But yeah, I've done some cool collaborations with people that way. It was fun times for sure.
Paint chats. Yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
I do. What I do is I do was Magma Studio. Sometimes I just join this gather some people in Instagram or anywhere. Do you want to draw together at this time, at this time, at this time? Say, yeah, sure, whatever, blah blah blah. Then you just make this amazing painting together. Damn.
That sounds really cool. Have you ever done it in a more casual way with games like painting games like Gartic Phone or something like that? Have you heard of that?
I haven't. I really want to try. I don't have
Okay.
friends.
Oh no. Okay, well, it's one of the games that we're wanting to play. We played it once on stream and it was really fun. And I wanted to I'm gonna make a little game section on Discord so people can play games together because we had so much fun with Gartic Phone. I definitely want to do it again. It was good
Nice.
stuff. Yeah.
Uh,
Not as since it's a game and there's time limits, it's gonna not create as amazing works as like a truly collaborative piece where you're like working on a painting with somebody over time and you don't have like a time limit or anything. It's gonna be a bit more chaotic than that.
Is that a
Maybe more than
challenge?
a little bit. Sure.
Is that a
Yeah.
challenge?
I feel like every time I play Gartic Phone, I'm the one where I'm just
With
like
you.
being obnoxiously like
Sophisticated.
extravagant artsy. Yeah. So if you want to take it as a challenge too, I'm sure people would be thrilled to have, or maybe they wouldn't be thrilled. Maybe they'll be like, oh fuck, another one, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
We'll
one
see
of the
though.
maniacs again. Oh my god.
hmm No, we got a good group though. A couple of times we've done like there's a mode where people draw a series of lines and then you have to kind of you have to come up with your interpretation of what those lines are and make a painting out of it. And there's been some good ones and there's been some absolutely absurd ones where
Oh,
I don't
I'll
know
make
whether
an
it's
absurd one.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, I think
It's
you'll do good
PG,
on
don't
Gartic
worry.
Phone.
It will be PG.
Yeah, that's
Family
good.
friendly.
That's good, yeah. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy Gartic
If you
Phone,
look
I'm
at the
sure.
general chat, you can see that's what I did with a couple of people in the Magma studio.
Wow, yeah. That's fucking awesome. The interesting thing about collaborating with people is you can get people who have like a certain strength, and somebody was really good at drawing weapons and swords. You can tell for that. So
That's both of us right there.
that's awesome. Nice. Yeah, I feel like when I collaborated back in the day, I was always the one drawing people. And then I had a friend who was always doing clothes and backgrounds. Um,
Well, it'll be amazing.
mhm.
So,
That's why I'm trying to expand my skills so I can draw backgrounds now too.
soon
Sorry,
you
just
shall.
responding to a DM real quick.
All right. It has been amazing hangout. I gotta go and pray.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, yeah, it
So,
was lovely chatting, and yeah, definitely hang around, and I'll ping you the next time we do like a Gartic phone game.
good luck with your art, by the way.
Thank you so
And
much.
hopefully I can hang out again.
Yeah,
Talk
for
about
sure.
a bunch of stuff and maybe silly stuff.
Sure. Whatever works.
Whatever works, whatever makes you happy. All right. GG.
All right. GG, have a good
Have a
one.
nice day.
I am slightly getting super tired because I didn't sleep for many hours. Oh, thanks, Purple. No, that's part of it. There we go. I actually have stuff in the fridge I could possibly eat. It's because okay, so what happened was I tried to go to bed early last night. Because I only slept 2 hours the night before because of thumbs. And then I started watching this Korean drama show called see, called I think it's called Glory. I don't know, but it's like all this like intrigue and drama and crazy stuff, and it was very interesting. So of course I did not go to sleep or fall asleep. So but then when I finally did get to sleep, that was when Thumbs was like, "Oh, all right, it's 4 a.m. It's time for our regular 4 a.m. explosive playtime." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I should be used to this by now, I guess." So then from like 4 till like 8 a.m. it was Thumbs playtime because she's a kitten and that's how it goes. And then I was gonna wake up and eat some food at like a normal time. Like I was gonna aim for like 9 or 10. Then I ended up trying to go back to sleep, but unsuccessfully because there's some construction going on nearby us right now until like noon, and then finally gave up and got up at noon and was like, okay, this is how I'm starting my day. Everything is fine. Yeah, so not the most successful or well-rounded day, but I keep trying to make my days more clear for like my streaming days to be like good, not taxing days, so that I can have good mental energy for ready for streaming and stuff. But I don't know what's happened. Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish. Am I making it up, or is this kind of, does this blending look, is Georgia O'Keeffe the one with the big flowers? I remember finding them boring when I was a child. Oh no, she's not who I'm thinking of. Well, maybe. No. I'm thinking of somebody different. But these kind of flowers that with like painterly brushstrokes like this, but not as much definition, they definitely remind me of some art that I've seen. But it's not what I want it to be, and it's not good. So I think rather than fussing with it till this is entirely done, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the colors for the last lotus, and then see how I feel. Fresh eyes would be. Yes, thank you, Amanda. That's who I knew. I knew that name was like familiar, but it wasn't the right name for my brain. See, like this part of the painting is just straight up. Oh, actually, now that I'm looking at it, it makes sense. I was gonna say I'm just painting this like an AI, where I'm like, there's some colors there, and there's some other colors there. And someone put some of those other colors next to it, and it makes zero sense whatsoever. But I think now I'm actually seeing how it works. Yeah. And I shouldn't be, like, since I'm using these to try to practice, I shouldn't be just being like, well, again, I'm just gonna put some colors till it looks right, basically. But that's what I'm doing today. But also, no, never mind, I forgot. It's okay to do that. And not make it perfect and photoreal. My mind is at war with itself. I'll figure out how to art properly someday. Were you here earlier when we were talking about the person who put their resume for a concept art job and was like, I can create 150 to 200 arts per day? I will have to link it in the Discord because it's... yeah. It was just somebody completely and utterly misunderstanding what being a concept artist would be. Yeah. Like, every art director was responding to that like, God, no, do not give us 200 paintings per day. You're just giving us another job to fucking have to sort through all those and like make the decisions. Part of what we're paying for like a concept artist to do is to like pick a fucking good option. Yeah. And then there was like another facet of it. What's the other facet that I thought was interesting? Oh, the fact that the person was just straight up lying, because there's no way they're creating like 150 to 200 like finished, well done like prompts, because like you can make cool looking stuff, and you can get specific cool looking stuff if you spend a decent chunk of time on it. I think they're literally just saying, I can make Midjourney generate 200 images a day. And it's like, is that because that's the membership plan you pay for? Like, is that your limitation for it? Yeah, it's something else. That's for sure. All the AI discourse. Oh, there was another thing on the AI versus artist discourse today of some guy who it's the most it was another like opinion piece article, and it was this guy who's like, finally, like the egotistical, like snotty stuck up artists are taken down a peg, and like I went to this party and like I knew I went to school to be like more interesting. Like literally he was saying, hang on, I gotta pull this up. I'm gonna do a narration. I'm gonna do a dramatic reading. It's gonna be terrible. I'd like to prepare you for that. Where is it? Da-da-da-da. I'll find it. And then like probably I'll finish one other flower, and then like I might go to bed around 9:30, 9:45. We'll see. See how I feel about the last flower before I do it. Yeah, so it's hang on. I found it, but I haven't found a link. Yeah. Okay. So he says AI spells trouble for creatives. About time, too. And it's like, okay, like weird take. I've been seeing this a little bit. And then, are you fucking kidding me? I have to subscribe. Illegal. Hang on. Somebody on Reddit mentioned that if you can copy and paste the whole content of a page fast enough, sometimes you can still read it. Oh, man. Okay, honestly, the part that I'm gonna read is all you need to know of it. Okay. So he says, machines that can write and paint are a welcome rebuff to the prestige enjoyed by artistic types. It's like, okay, interesting, sure. Vanity, egotism, and a desire to be thought more interesting at parties. Perhaps I could have been more honest with the room full of students who wanted to know what had inspired me to go into journalism. Already said so much right there. But surveying those youthful faces, I felt compelled to strike an idealistic note. So yes, while it's true that I love books and ideas, a spirit of guilty self-criticism now compels me to confess that I was also after a lifestyle. It's like, okay. Why are you still writing this? I wanted to join the creative classes. I wanted to pile back issues of The New Yorker on my coffee table and cultivate intimidating bookshelves. I wanted to look down on management consultants. Such were the youthful snobberies I mistook for principles. And the whole article is like that. And it's like, do you actually know any artists? Like, are the only artists he knows, like, has he seen them in, like, New York galleries or attending galas? Any of the, like, G gal words? Like, because, like, I think he just wants to be a rich person. He just wants to be a rich, bougie person. He doesn't want to live a creative life. He wants to be a rich, bougie person without having to be a rich, bougie person. It's just like, it's another flavor of cosplaying the poor, but while still being rich. He wants to be interesting and unique, and it's like, oh, this is the amount of people liking and retweeting this that are like, yeah. And it's kind of like, oh my god, how many of you feel this way and are like this stupid to think that this is like actually how any of this works? Like, the prestige that I've gotten from being an artist, let me think of the times that that's been like, that's felt prestigious. I have to think on that. Because most of the time, yeah, it'll get me literally nothing. It'll be like, oh, you don't have a real job? Like, that's the kind of prestige you get when you tell people that you're an artist. It's not, oh my gosh, what New York galleries is your art in lately? I don't know what accent that was. I don't know why that's the one I associated with, like, Gallery New York. You know what? It's late. I'm gonna make the dumb accents that I'm gonna make. It is what it is. But yeah, just reading that and just like the thinly, not even, no, I don't know why I was about to say that because it's a straight up lie. The like not at all veiled vitriol towards creative people when it's like, bro, just be more interesting. Just like cultivate your life even a little. Just the slightest bit. Anyways, yeah, Twitter has been wild for AI art discourse lately. It's kind of people like that. I think that I'm gonna have to set time limits for myself for these paintings. Because they're supposed to be like... Yesterday, I felt good about completing that one painting in one sitting. Not yesterday. Monday. I felt good about the time that I spent on that. I was like, okay, it took me a minute, but like, I got 3 whole like little mini paintings done. Good stuff. Tonight, I got a third of a painting done. And granted, it's like, it's better water lilies than I've ever drawn. So I can't be too mad about that. However, I did want to draw more things. And it means on Monday I won't get to roll new colors or do any of that cool stuff. I'll just have to keep painting this. Not the end of the world, but I think setting timers is a better plan. And also probably not streaming when I've only had like a couple hours of sleep. There are multiple pathways to a solution here. Yeah, I think for tonight I'm just going to finish laying colors down on this flower. And ponder sleep because I haven't pondered sleep enough lately. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like the last few nights I've been in here, I've had kind of like lively, engaging topics that I've felt passionate and strongly about. And tonight I got to talk about a few nice things, but it's not as like engaging as when you're like, ah, this person that I think has a good head on their shoulders is wrong about this thing, and let's try and come to a consensus on this thing that is like relevant and important to me because I'm pretty sure I'm right about it. Definitely a different energy. Maybe I need more... Do I need more conflict here to engage my brain, or do I just need sleep? It's probably the latter. I think it's just the latter. Although conflict is interesting. I do notice that it's like when Victor went offline one of those nights and I was just talking to Joey, it was much more like, oh yeah, we have the same opinions on this. It was like pretty agreeable. It's less interesting. So I think I either need to engage in more thorough educational content to engage my brain and kind of like explain more about why I'm doing everything that I'm doing, or I need to find some more people to disagree with, or find topics I disagree with. Ooh, okay. Good times. I feel we agree on fucking everything, ma'am. Wait, do we? I feel like we agree on most things. I like brown noise. You hate brown noise. War. I think that's gonna be our that'll be our talking point. Pro brown noise versus anti brown noise. Oh my god, we can even have middlemen positions of like blue noise. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah. Good grief. Okay. Point. This lotus doesn't even look like a lotus. The one on the right, I'm happy with how the lotus turned out, though. It's good stuff. Oh, you know what I could do? If I start my stream earlier in the day, so it's when Teapot's on, talk about gun control and stuff. That'd be wild. I think I'm just gonna add this last little... Whoa, my god, that's so bright. What have I done? Okay. I'm not gonna add that. I'm gonna add this. Better. Okay. I think I'm just gonna add these last little touches of color. And then I think my brain is incompatible with being conscious any further this evening. But I'm happy I did a second little attempt at a study and oh yeah, you guys weren't here earlier, but I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do what I did with the stock images before. So I just took these off Google image search and tried not to get the ones that were stock photos. Yeah, so I don't know how much I actually need to be concerned about this. Maybe I'm like overblowing it in my head. But apparently you can sue people if they don't buy the rights to your stock photo and their painting is like too similar to it. Like it's like too much of a match. And it was interesting because there were people on Twitter who were agreeing with that and defending this photographer and artist, and like usually I'm like all for defending the artist, and it's like, I mean, like I kind of get it, and it was like very, very similar, but no, I felt like it's something that I need to think on because, and also what's hilarious about that is if that's illegal, then it blows all the fucking AI bro copyright transformative works things out of the water because no. If even stock photos aren't able to be taken without copyright. Oh, yeah, that's a whole ass different thing. I feel like what I looked it up for was because I was like, I wonder if I can get in trouble for showing these stock images that I'm drawing from on my screen during the stream. Because I was like, that's reasonable. I'm showing them on stream and they're like completely unedited form. This is literally just the stock photos and I'm literally just like putting them up on my stream. But imagine my surprise when it was like, yes, that's bad, and also your entire art is illegal. I was like, oh. Noted. Good to know. So. Also, okay. I'm gonna do a little bit more on this petal really quick, but then I'm gonna pause and end for the night and then show you guys what the oh, I fucked up. There's a petal in between here that I didn't draw. Foolishness. Show you guys my favorite part of this painting so far. But I did a thing and I'm quite pleased with it. I hear Thumbelina shrieking in the distance. Who knows why, but he's being a shrieky little goblin baby. Because that is her calling in life, to be the shriekiest little goblin baby. Despite being super tired today, I am pleased with certain aspects of this painting, and I think that I've learned something from trying to paint this lily pad. I historically have been bad at like leaves and stuff of like any sort. I just don't think I'm very good at drawing leaves, nor do I like drawing them, so I had no reason to get better at them. But, because of all this now, I'm gonna try and get better at drawing leaves. That was ugly. At least I learned that. And then also, this needs more, a little bit of light here. Also a lot of bit of light here. Once that's there, then I'll, oh god. Fucked it up. Needs blue. There we go. Oh, it does, because I still have the brush set on blend mode. Good Christ. Okay. So this leaf, wait, oh my god, there's supposed to be another leaf here? This leaf is dumb. Alright, I think that that is it for this flower for tonight. But something I really like, oops. Something I really like and didn't just immediately fuck up. Okay, round 3. This leaf. Right here. Look at how many colors are in this one leaf. I think that's really nice. I think it is real cool. Man, I am so mad Thumbelina hasn't played with her stupid little toy that her cool ass little hanging toy that I got for her. Stream, why have you, okay, before I go to bed. Oh, are you all quiet and peaceful though? Oh, she's a quiet and peaceful little baby. Oh, I'm directly blocking it so you guys can't see her. Here. She's only quiet and peaceful when I'm awake. I wonder if she thinks she's like on guard duty. Ferbert has been hogging the bed. Here, I bet if I jingle it, she'll be really hyped about it. Oh, but he's kind of in the way. Oh, grandpa. Oh my god. What a big grandpa you are. Okay. I'm so mean. She's staring at it, blinking at it all sleepily, like, oh fuck, a toy. You see it? Yeah, go get it. Oh, are you sleepy, poor baby? Oh, never mind. Just kidding. She just like blinked at me twice and then did a little silent meow and then wandered back over. That's so cute. Oh, okay. I won't try to pressure her into showing off. Okay. That was too cute. I'm gonna die. Okay, so I think a stopping point for tonight. It's not bad. It's not exactly like the image, but that's okay also. but there's places that are not like the image in ways that I don't like and that I need to correct. There's some that I don't mind because it needed more contrast against the background, but then there's some parts where I do mind, and I'm gonna fix it. And then Monday, I'll do the other 2 illustrations. I'm not even gonna show the stock photos for those. I'm gonna say, this is gonna be like watching an AI art. You know how it starts all fucked up, and then it gradually coalesces into an image? That's what's gonna happen with these. These look like chaotic nonsense, but I promise they will coalesce into something. I gotta remember to rate out this time. I did it last time, and we found a really cool watercolor person. So I gotta rate out. Is this a dashboard? Okay. Wait, nope, that's not it. Screen manager. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Well, thank y'all for hanging out and having a lovely chat and hang this evening. I can't even say words. I'm honestly so tired. I'm just gonna go get food. You guys are great. I will be more awake on Monday. I will hogtie thumbs. God bless you. I see her sneezing and yawning behind me. Yeah, ma'am. Okay. I will find some way to sleep. I will figure it out eventually. Oh, I gotta find a channel to go to. Oh, dear God. Okay. Anybody got any friends that are streaming right now that want a raid? Because if not, I'm just gonna pick some pretty art on Oh, actually, no. I know who we're gonna raid. I have a friend to raid. Ha 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 ha. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna raid out. Alrighty. I don't know if you guys have been in channel when Fat Sky Starman has been in channel, but he's a regular around here, and he's streaming right now. So we're gonna pop by and oh, I gotta click the button. God. Bye.
Sheesh! I'm arriving soon.
Oh God.
Art, my pet. Thank you for the raid. Hey, I know you.